Who you got going all the way, Jam?
I got the Saints going all the way.
Boo.
Look, I don't even vote with the Saints, but I mean, statistically, Drew Brees is doing what Drew Brees does, so I got them going all the way and winning that bitch.
I ain't gonna lie, me as a Falcons fan, I can't rock with it, dog.
Look, I rock with the Falcons. I'm saying, bruh, like they playing when they went 2005, 2006. This team looked better than that, bruh. So and they won the championship then. So I don't know. I think I'm rocking with them for that. But I feel you.
My pick right now is the Rams. I'm going with the LA Rams. That's my pick for the Super Bowl.
Going or winning that shit?
Winning all the way. LA Rams. That's my early pick.
So NFC championship probably gonna be what, Saints against Rams.
I can do Saints versus Rams.
You say the Rams gonna be.
Yeah, Rams gonna win. If the Rams don't make it to the Super Bowl, I'll give it to the Chiefs. If the Chiefs make it.
Man, I fuck with the Chiefs, but like they've shown us they've been good a bunch of years where I think was like 11-5 or something before, and then like when it comes down to it, niggas.
It's a whole nother team, though.
Yeah, I mean, I will say that Mahomes is like MVP worthy for sure. Interesting to see. I like the team. I've been liking the Chiefs since Priest Holmes, Dante Hall days. So
I'm gonna be honest with you though, dog. I think I would have kept Kareem Hunt. I would have suspended him for 3 weeks, but I would have kept him because nobody cares about that shit now. Think about it. Nobody been talking about that shit
at all. Yeah. Nah, definitely. He was somebody. The wild shit is he gonna be picked up next year too. Once the dust settles. So yeah, might as well kept him this year. I
would have kept him, bro.
Shit. He he was producing this year too. Honestly, he been producing the last couple years. So I don't know. That was a sticky situation. It's kind of like they had to take a stand for this.
But bro, the thing about it is people are such prisoners of time. Like especially now, everybody talking about R. Kelly now. So Kareem Hunt could have been playing and nobody would have said shit, bro.
Yeah, no,
it wouldn't even have been run back up.
I definitely agree with that shit. It's just like I don't know, like because the NFL gets flat because people always say like if you wanna stand up for like black people and taking a knee and all that shit, then you ban. But if you want to be a woman, then yeah, we'll let you play in the league. And I think they were trying to take a stance on like, yo, we got to show that we different from that. But in the long run, it might be a bad thing for their team. As far as public, like how they look publicly, I guess it was a good move for him. But yeah, somebody gonna pick him up next year. Yeah, so
he's definitely gonna be playing.
And if he's in the AFC in the same division, it's gonna kind of be ironic as fuck, to be real. So niggas is gonna be playing against that nigga.
Kind of like I told you so. But see, the NFL is a business, dog. That's why, bro. You just gotta make good business decisions. That's all you gotta do. Good business decisions. And people make horrible business decisions often.
That's fair.
Speaking of that, dog, with this podcast and shit, I've been dealing with that.
Speak on it. Speak on
it. For some reason, people think it's cool to be an entrepreneur, but when it's time to be an entrepreneur, they don't know how to be an entrepreneur. That shit is getting aggravating, dog. Like, you have a craft, you have something you do that you're supposed to be passionate about. Why not stick with it? And your word is everything. That's all you have as a business owner. Your word. That's what people go by. Your face card means everything.
Right.
And people just act like they don't give a fuck, dog.
I mean, that's one of those careers where, like, you can't really let up. Like, what you make and how you perceive to the public, all that shit is on you. So any type of, like, backtracking or, like, not giving as much effort, that shit reflects on you solely. Like, you work at a job, you can always point the fingers when you got a boss or you got a team and all that shit. Entrepreneurship, that shit's different. If your shit ain't like popping how it should be, you gotta put the fingers back on yourself. So yeah, if you're not willing to give the effort, then this ain't the game you should be in.
Exactly.
Like,
all right.
Shit.
So, bro, let me create a scenario for you. So I've been talking to you about doing this podcast with me for what, like 2 months now?
Yeah.
So what if this weekend came down to it, and I hit you up and I was like, "Hey, Jam, I got some shit going on. Is it a way we can do this shit like next month or something?" And let's say you was cool with it and you was like, "All right, cool." Next month came and I was like, the same shit happened. I did the same shit. And then you see me on IG or you see me on Snap and the night before I'm getting wild as fuck, I'm drunk as
I
hell.
be side-eyeing the fuck out of your ass.
Exactly,
This
bro.
nigga ain't serious. I'm not gonna take him serious. He don't take his craft serious.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
And the next time I hit you up, you'll probably just be like, bro, fuck you.
Probably not getting a response.
Exactly, dog. And that's what I'm saying. Most people don't even care about shit like that. Like, okay, short story. One time, I had a cleaning business before, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I had my cleaning business one time, and I have a friend, and he was like, I'll help you. I know you're just starting out. You don't have much money to pay employees yet, so I got you. I was like, all right, cool. I had one that got a ass of accounts to like strip and wax floors.
All right.
I got all these accounts. And I was like, yeah, I really need you to help me this weekend. He gets drunk as hell the night before we're supposed to work.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm trying to wake him up in the morning. I'm like, hey, bro, come on, it's time to work. And so he's like, huh? I'm like, bro, this is everything to me. You know what I'm saying? I'm a passionate person when it comes to things I'm doing.
Hey, and there is nothing worse than your ass being into some shit. And then, like, they appear like they want to help. And then they not putting in the same effort you putting in.
Exactly.
That shit's annoying as fuck. Like, I don't like people on my team that like will do shit like that. I'm like, bro, I'm giving my all to this shit. Like, I'm taking risks. You just sitting there kind of coasting. Nah, it ain't gonna work with me, dog. Like, at all.
Exactly, bro. And that's the thing people don't understand about a team. A team is basically a relationship. In a relationship, you're supposed to meet that person halfway, and when one person slacks, you're supposed to be able to pick that slack up a little bit, but they should never slack all the time. People don't understand
or
that with
expect,
teams.
like, I can slack off because I know you got my back. You shouldn't be privileged like that, dog. That's when shit don't work. So I feel you on that shit.
Dog, you're only as strong as your team. I was watching, it was something on BET yesterday I was watching, and it basically was talking about the music industry. And Common was on there, and he was saying, like, a lot of rappers fail because of their team. You're only as strong as your team. If you have a strong team, you can do whatever. But if you have a lot of yes men in your corner, and they're just like, yeah, buy that stupid ass chain. Or, yeah, get that damn Bentley truck, and you ain't got no license.
I feel like yes men are like the downfall of why most people don't pop off. Like, just... niggas just, oh yeah, that's cool. That's like nigga stuff that totally like is not good for your brand, but you got motherfuckers like, you think I should do this? Yep, that's cool. And you, bro, that shit can snowball to the point where like by the time you out there, you don't even realize that your shit is whack. Like everything you doing is whack because you got fucking 4 people around you gassing you on some bullshit. Like in my circle, bro, give me the raw. Like, you know what I'm saying? Give me constructive criticism. And don't get me wrong, I'm one of them people like this. And I can say I'm like this in relationships too. Let me know when I'm doing good too. Like just like as a motivating factor. But like tell me straight up what it is, dog. Cause I don't want to be out here looking silly and stupid. But gassing people who probably don't deserve it. That's not making nobody better. That's not making no situation better. So that shit's detrimental all the way.
Exactly, bro. People don't even understand that neither. Like, dog, you have to have that strong team. I know you dealt with the shit probably the whole time you been rapping. That's why before we started doing the podcast, I was like, damn, dog, this is a nice ass studio we in. And I was thinking, I was like, you must record yourself. You record, engineer, mix, and master yourself.
I have to wear like 10 hats. Like I'm the nigga. Like I engineer myself, and that's not even to say that I'm like just some went to school for engineering and all that shit. I had to do a lot of shit because I just had to. So I'm the engineer. Of course, I write it. Like I told you before, I outsource beats. I'll be like, yo, you got some beats for me? Or I do my own shit. Like when it comes to like, oh, I need to promote my shit. I gotta promote my shit. So like I'm my PR. I'm my videos. I'm the one edit all my shit. Now, of course, I can't like shoot a video and be in the video at the same time. So I'll like hire somebody to hold the camera and like be my director of photography. But when it comes down to like making my actual video, I'm the nigga putting the man hours in. So I do everything. And honestly, like it's a good thing to say that. Like it's good for your resume. But in all honesty, with this music shit, I just want to be an artist. I don't want to be my own PR. I don't want to be branding. Because, like, if I was on somebody, there'll be somebody for all of that, right? All I would have to focus on is record my music, do my shows, all that shit. But I have to be way beyond that because sometimes, like, getting the crew together to try to be on the same accord is not the easiest shit. So I kind of got to be everything right now. And eventually, I know that'll change. And like I said, it's kind of an honor to be like, I did that. But I can tell you now, I'll be way more productive with music if I could delegate or whatever. But again, everybody would have to be on the same team. And in situations like that, it's kind of like egos, right?
Yeah.
So you basically telling grown ass men, we doing all this shit so you can get on. And that you can't, like, some people can be like, there's role players who like, nigga, I know if you succeed, I succeed. Some people are cool with that. Some people like, nigga, wait, so I gotta goddamn promote your shit. I got some shit of my own, but I gotta promote your shit. Be all about you. And it's just like, brother, if you think about the biggest crews, that's how it is. They knew with TDE who had to go out first. They secret weapon, they best person is Kendrick Lamar. Yeah, there's some MCs on there that can rip shit. But, you know, Ab-Soul and all them had to goddamn be like, look, I know I can rap. I can't have no ego right now. Them niggas is pushing Kendrick, so I got to change my goddamn profile picture to Kendrick Lamar's out. I can rap too, but right now we pushing him. Once where he need to be, that'll open the door for me. People don't have that type of mind state with this when egos collide like that, you know?
Bruh, so you shoot videos too?
Yeah. My last 3 videos, I did. The last one, I didn't do. But I used the same guy from the video before. My song Legit, there's a dude named DV, shout out to him. I just kind of had him as my director of photography. I was like, yo, point and shoot. I had and I didn't just, like, it wasn't no wing it shit. Like, I'm the nigga who will write a treatment out. Literally, like, yo, we're gonna shoot with this camera. We're gonna be at this setting. We're gonna do this for this hour. I have everything, like, I have a PDF of my shit. Like, I do real video treatments. And then I'm like, okay, I'm ready to shoot. Basically, he shot it, gave me, like, the little SD card. I hooked it up to my MacBook. And in the weeks to come, I, like, kind of just put it together myself. I like doing that because a lot of people don't see your vision and shit like that. And I don't want to sound like the nigga that's complaining or whatever, but, like,
oh no, it just is
if you nobody gonna care about your shit more than you, right? So
correct.
If you got an idea in your head and I can tell you all day what my idea is, but you're not gonna feel it like I'm gonna feel it, right? Mm-hmm. So I just decided, like, you know what, from now on, I'm gonna just I'm gonna have people shoot it, but I'm gonna put the video together my way. I'm gonna I literally, like, if you looked at the PDF, it's like telling you, like, I want to shot like this, I want to shot like this, and that's how they do it. Anyway, like, they make treatments. Now my last video, the same guy who did the one before, I sent him a track because I was like, I'm ready to do it again, blah blah blah. He listened to the track and he was like, bruh, I actually got something for this, but he's actually cold, and he was like, bruh, let me direct this one. And because I trusted him, because he's actually dope, I was like, all right, it's in your hands then, because I was prepared. I had already had, like, oh, I got an idea for this, but he was like, bro, I'm inspired by this, let me do this. And I was like, okay, cool. And it came out dope or whatever, but for the most part, I like to have hands on all my shit.
Dog, you edit your own videos also?
Edit, Adobe Premiere, literally, yes.
Dog, how'd you learn that? Because I'm going through that process right now, and I'm having trouble.
I heard you say Final Cut. You on Final Cut?
Yeah,
I'm gonna tell you right now. So Final Cut, that was the industry standard, and I think it is still. But, like, people be doing, like, whole movies on Final Cut Pro. Adobe Premiere, I think, is better for music videos, with the transitions and shit. But everybody, like, you can go to enthusiasts. They both would be like, no, I'm team Final Cut. Adobe Premiere. Adobe Premiere is my shit. I think is linear. Like, you can kind of just put that shit in. And I think they made Final Cut kind of like that too. But I'm not a big fan of it. But it's an industry standard. It's either one or the two. Most people use Final Cut or they'll use Adobe Premiere. But I can't, man. I would have leaned a hand if you would have been like, you on Adobe Premiere. But Final Cut, I don't know too much about the new one like that, my damn self. So
see, bro, I'm always Team Mac, so that's the only reason why I went to Final Cut. And honestly, I'm a
Premiere on there too.
Yeah, I know, but dog, I was using iMovie, and I was trying to line it up by myself, but the frame rate was off. That's what really got me.
But I thought that the new Final Cut, the last I saw it, is kind of like iMovie now. Like, from what I saw, it's kind of like
iMovie, but what I really needed was to be able to synchronize the audio with the video.
Okay.
Because, you know, now, as far as this podcasting thing is going, I've noticed a lot of people rather watch video instead of just listen to the audio. So I needed something that could synchronize that for me.
Okay. Yeah, so you know what. And iMovie can't do that? Because honestly, for podcasts, I thought iMovie was... Like, they had upgraded so much. I thought it was...
Nah, bro, that shit's garbage, dog. And that's why now, like, you talking about wearing hats, bro, that's where I'm at right now. Like, I podcast, I'm an engineer, I'm a director, I'm a producer, I'm everything when it comes to this podcast shit. And I ain't gonna lie, it's kind of stressful, but the same thing you said, it's like, I'd rather be the one, like, when something bad happens, I know it's my fault.
It's on you. Like, you don't gotta be like, damn, if so-and-so would have goddamn had this shit together, maybe we wouldn't be... You can be like, damn, I mean, that was on me.
Yeah, that's on me. Like, so I first started doing videos, and shit, podcasting and YouTube videos. I didn't know shit about nothing, bro. I made so many mistakes, dog. And like when I first started making the videos, I literally just took my phone and just put it on the tripod and started trying to shoot the videos.
Them be the niggas that go viral though. That's what's crazy.
Yeah, I know, dog. But I started looking. I like, this shit looks like trash, bro. Then that's when I learned, like, oh, your lights is trash. You got these fucking 1972 goddamn yellow lights in the house. So that's why your videos look like that. So now I'm like, okay, now I got lighting and I can just see myself getting better. So it's like when I was making those mistakes, I was like, okay, it was my fault. So how am I gonna get better from that?
Yeah, it's trial and error with all this.
Yeah.
And honestly, it's like they move the finish line every year. Like, just when you think that you done caught on to some shit, they change algorithms on certain sites to, like, you know, to get hits and shit like that. So you kind of get in where you fit in with all this shit. So
hey, bro, you just said something, though, that was funny to me. You said that's the type of niggas that go viral. How do you feel when someone, like, does go viral off some bullshit, like, I don't know. My example would be Blueface. I don't know if you want to talk about any other artists, but my example would be Blueface. I think that nigga trash as fuck, bro. So when I see that shit, I'm like, I know so many niggas that's way better than him, but I also understand the image.
It's just, man, the time we in. I've kind of adapted to our culture that, like, I still love hip hop. I still care about lyrics. And don't get me wrong, like, I'm not. You just talked about Common. Like, that's one of my favorite artists. But I'm not, if I'm in a party, I'm not trying to listen to no goddamn Common. I'm not really even trying to listen to J. Cole, to be real with you. And I love, like, that's one of my favorite niggas. Like, J. Cole is, like, one of my top. But I understand there's a time and place for everything. So when I see motherfuckers just put some bullshit out and it's just, like, viral, and a million hits and all that. Back in the day, that shit used to bother me. Now, I just know what I'm dealing with. It's just, like, I also look at it as, like, kind of like a microwave popcorn culture. And this is no diss to him or whatever, but, like, yeah, Jay-Z kind of expounded upon it, like when he was like, it's this thing called like a white, it's a white hot. It was like something like white hot, where like for this second you're like that person, and then like once it's off you, it's probably not coming back on you ever again. I'd much rather be the like. Yeah, the slow simmer nigga, like, damn, Jam, I thought you was gonna be on last year. Damn, is this your year? And then I finally hit that pocket. But it's like, I just keep going. And like, you keep hearing about me every year. A lot of these niggas, we not going to hear about. And I don't want to sound cliche, because I know that's the thing. I'm not dissing none of these new niggas. But it's just like, I'd rather organically, like, do my shit. Like, okay, your shit hit 5 million because you just put out some bullshit. My shit hit 2,000. And I got a couple fans off of it. I might got to do 3 more songs or 3 more videos to get even more. But overall, those are the niggas who stick around that's going to be long term. So I for me, I just kind of gotta keep the faith, because, bro, when you see shit like that and just be like, what? You niggas, like, some niggas be accidentally getting on.
Exactly.
Like, I didn't even, I put, like, there's people who got regular jobs who, like, maybe had a funny ass moment, didn't want to have a career in comedy, none of that shit, and just accidentally
stumbled
go
upon
viral and be like, oh shit, well, now that I'm here, like, buy my shirt. And I'm just like, damn. And then I'm in here, blood, sweat, and tears. Like, I gotta get this shit. I'm like, no, they're not gonna like this if I say this. Let me change it around. Like, I think like that when I record, and it's something that it is definitely, I hate that about myself, because I be in here like, nah, let me change this around, all this shit. I'm like, you know what? The niggas who be like really just going, these are the niggas who like, because I look at the game like this. It's a bunch of niggas who coming home from the club, probably zooted, off some Xannies, drunk, high, whatever, and then they record, probably don't even remember what they recorded, and then they wake up in the morning, and next thing you know, somebody didn't leak this shit, and it's like the biggest song ever, and I'm like, damn, nigga, I didn't even remember recording that track. Like, and then, versus me, I be in this shit like, yo, I want to say something, I want to mean something, I want to like, damn, this ain't hit hard. Oh, I could have, look, you was talking about dudes like offbeat and shit, it's just like, damn, I sound offbeat on this, let me redo it. When you got niggas who like get big off of being offbeat, it's just like, I don't know, but it's no hate to them or whatever. Like, my lane is my lane, they lane is they lane, and that's just what it is, you know.
That's exactly how it is, bro. It's kind of like, I always say it, like, would you do anything for money? I wouldn't do anything for no recognition. Also, like, I'd rather go through these struggles than just pop off of doing some dumb shit. Like, I don't want to go out there and like be on Love and Hip Hop and somebody recognize me because fucking I got a drink thrown in my face. You know what I'm
saying? Niggas do is throw drinks too.
Exactly. That's why I used it.
Niggas just throw drinks all damn episode.
Bro, I don't even watch reality TV because of that. I haven't watched reality TV since like Flavor of Love,
all
Real
that
World,
shit.
Or
nigga,
shit
I
like
go
that.
back to fucking Bug Juice on Disney Channel, bro. Like I'm throwback reality. I don't like all that new shit. Like I know the people because I follow the Shade Room and Baller Alert or whatever, but I don't know they stories and all that shit. It's supposed to be unscripted. All that shit scripted.
Yeah,
and I'm cool on that.
And bro,
shit.
the Shade Room, I don't follow the Shade Room, dog, because, bro, I hate to see negativity, dog. It's kind of like, bro, we all have to admit, as people nowadays, we're so addicted to social media, dog, and like. It's literally one of the first things the average person does as soon as they wake up in the morning time.
Yeah.
I don't want to wake up in the morning time and see Kevin Hart was on Ellen and everybody is mad like, oh Ellen, how could you do this,
right.
and blah blah. That's not. I don't want that to be the first thing I see.
Nigga, I sometimes, you know, like if you can't go through the whole night, you got to get that little fucking 2 a.m. piss. Like I go piss and I go back to my phone and be like, oh, if I miss something, let me look.
Yeah.
That's whack. Like I hate that. I'm like that now, but I mean. IG, man, that shit has kind of cheapened like our existence because everything is comparing. Like my favorite social media site is Twitter still to this day, and some people like Facebook, some people like IG. I like IG. I use all of them, but Twitter, I'm not really the nigga who like necessarily have to be seen all the time, but I do want you to hear what I'm trying to say, and when I say hear, I mean like typed out shit. When I like read what I'm trying to say, basically, like I want to have a voice in some shit, and Twitter kind of gives you that. IG, all it does is makes you compare. You just compare, bro, and it's not like you not finna post your L's. Like if you bust your ass on the cement today, you think niggas gonna be like, bruh, I just took this L. No. You only seeing the best part of the person, which I'm not mad at, but at the same time, if their best is better than your best, you over here looking like, bro, I gotta, like, my shit is fuck. Like, I don't got, like, you could be down there living life, but you saw something better than your own shit on IG, you feel insecure about that shit. So, IG, I like the promotion aspect, like, for artists, you can put videos and all that shit up, but, like, as, like, quality of life, I think it has fucked up a lot of us. I think it has fucked up a lot of us because we get on IG and just compare. Niggas won't say they do it, but you just do. I don't care if you like, damn, where he get them shoes from, or damn, like damn, them niggas in Dubai again. Like you find yourself saying that shit in your head, like, damn, am I slick a hater? IG will do that shit to your ass, and that's the only reason why that shit I can see sometimes why it's detrimental to us. Like it's cool to like, oh, that's cool post, but it makes you compare too much. Twitter, I can kind of just say what I want to say. Put the tweet out, whatever. Facebook, I'm not gonna lie. I'm on there. Facebook be ratchet as fuck though. Sometimes I'm not gonna lie. Facebook be showing me like that's the hood side of town of social media, bro. That's when you be like, oh, you about to go to the south side? Oh, you on to Facebook then? Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I just be like, yeah, but.
See, dog, this is how I feel about it. I feel like as far as IG goes, that's exactly what it is. Like people are on there comparing, and I get a lot of females that tell me things like, "Oh, I really want to be like such and such because they're living their best life. They're always traveling, this and that, blah blah." I'm like, well, you do know she probably just got a fucking $20,000 credit card, and
right.
She just went ham and swiped it. Like you don't really know what goes on behind the scene. And then Twitter, bruh, I fell off on Twitter. I used to rock with it real hard when I was in college, and I took a little break. And now I'm trying to get back on it. I feel like I'm talking to myself. No one interacts with me, and I'm just making tweets.
Nah, and that's the whack shit about Twitter right now. Is back then they used to have this shit called like follow trains, where you put everybody in the thing, you'll follow. The only whack shit about Twitter to me right now is like nobody follows each other no more. Like if you got a lot of followers, that's just kind of where you at. If you don't have a lot of followers, that's kind of where you at too. Like if I've noticed that, but I'll tell you this. Facebook and Instagram, IG particularly, like, they take a lot of their shit from Twitter. Like, Twitter is the first to know everything. Don't let anyone tell you anything different. Twitter is the CNN of shit. Yeah. And then IG will get it. Facebook will get that shit like 2 days later. That's a running gag like, oh, Facebook be behind time. But don't get me wrong, that shit be entertaining when you want to get your little ratchet shit. But Twitter is the number one source, the fastest. When somebody died, whatever, Twitter got it. And then maybe like 10 minutes later, IG, you'll see it like, oh, so-and-so just passed or whatever. But Twitter I like it because, like, yeah, like, I'm thinking there's so many firsts, like, when I first saw that, which I guess you could kind of see if you was just watching the TV, when Trump won that shit, Twitter, oh, he won out, and then Shade Room posted this shit or whatever, but Twitter is always number one with that shit. So I always keep up with that. But yeah, no, I feel you on that. Like, you often kind of talking to yourself. Like, every now and then you might get one retweet. You don't feel good about that one retweet.
Nah, you know what
like,
they fucked up at with Twitter, bro? They start doing likes.
Yeah, because it just turned into Facebook and IG.
Yeah. Like, don't like my shit, retweet it.
Retweet it, yeah.
That's how I know you liked it.
Exactly. Like, if you agree with me, that says you agree with the fuck I said. Yeah. You know what I mean? Unless you put a comment like,
hey, bro, you ever thought about hiring somebody to do your social media marketing?
I've kind of been in a situation like that. I'm straight on that shit. Because,
can you speak on it?
Right, yeah. I mean, there's people who ask, but for me right now, for what I want to do, all right, let's see. So with Twitter, the reason why it's no point of me hiring anyone is because that's my personal account and shit, and I like speak like not that I'm not on no sap shit, but like I'll speak from me, like from the heart, from what I gotta say, and I wouldn't even feel comfortable in like, hey my nigga, say this, or hey shorty, could you type this in or whatever. I wouldn't do that for Twitter. IG, I could probably do it more for IG because it's just pictures and shit, but still that still come down to me how much I'm like doing pictures and shit. So it's no point of delegating now. Later on, I probably would do that, but right now I'm cool with like being hands on with that because I actually know the culture with that. Facebook, that's the least that I like actually post on. I won't mind somebody taking over the Facebook shit, but then again, I got like family and shit on that shit.
Bro, you got a real live beef with Facebook.
No, bro. I'm telling you, if I open my phone right now, you gonna like Facebook is one of the last things I was on. I get on it. It's just more so like, bro. It's like I just see a bunch of ratchet shit. Like it's just like, man. I'm trying to say this without sounding like uppity as fuck because I'm definitely not. It's just like I see the worst of the worst. Like and it's not just me. When I be on Twitter, like there's a running gag like, oh shit, this is what I saw on Facebook, and motherfuckers, it'll be like a 10,000 retweets on Twitter, like, yeah, you know how Facebook be. It kind of be ratchet or whatever, but I got one. I participate. I'm with that shit to an extent. As far as artistry, my brand, if I can find a way to like, you know, make that shit work for me, I would be on it. But it's the third best for me. What I do, I like Twitter, and like when I put out music, Instagram is number one. Twitter, I don't have enough followers, and not that I have enough followers on IG, but like I went viral with the Shade Room
I remember
in August. That was on IG, but like I put that video
post, right?
Yeah, I put that same video on Twitter. I put that on Facebook. I didn't go on either one. So IG for music, definitely. If you want to say some catchy shit or you want to say some monumental shit, I'm definitely saying Twitter. Facebook, I actually have a okay following. I'm not like that big, but people, them shares is a motherfucker. Like when somebody shares some shit, you can get millions of people, but I just haven't mastered it. So that's the only reason why I talk about Facebook like I have. It's probably just because the unknown. I haven't mastered that shit. So I don't know. I can say now, look, I went viral on Twitter before years ago, but I can say right now, out of the three, I went viral on Twitter like in 2013. I went viral on IG 2018. Facebook, I haven't had luck with that, and that's probably why I look at it. Like
what was it that you went viral with?
2013, when the member of Criss Cross died, I had that Criss Cross jump shit. I got on World Star. I got like 1 million views on YouTube and all that shit. And I got all these like little followers and shit on Twitter and people retweeting. And like I can still type in my old lyrics from like 7 years ago and motherfuckers still quoting that shit on Twitter or whatever. But that was the first time. And then IG was last year. Facebook, I haven't had like 1,000 shares on Facebook. But and don't get me wrong, like I know those are real people on there, and that's like an avenue I definitely should pursue. But because I haven't quite discovered like how the fuck do I get this or whatever, because like I said, the same video I put on IG to get on the Shade Room, I put on Twitter and I put on Facebook. It only hit on IG.
You got you a nice little YouTube check, didn't you?
Nah. You know what's crazy? Speaking of that, so my jump video got like hella hits and it's like monetized, but the one that got the millions of hits is not under me.
Damn.
It's not under Fresh Jam TV. The one on Fresh Jam TV only got like maybe 50K views.
It was World Star?
Nah, it wasn't. So there's this guy that I fuck with. His name is Amir. Shout out to him. He's like a director in the UK. He's very big. He does a lot of shit. He's dope. I'll show you some shit after this. Mm-hmm. He's really cool. this nigga actually like contacted me on back in the MySpace days. I'm like, I really fuck with you. This is when, remember MySpace used to have a little MySpace player? And side note, I just thought about this, yo. I used to have like millions of plays on MySpace. I didn't, like, my mind in 2007 was not monetizing. Like, I didn't understand that, like, yo, nigga, you got 1 million plays on a song on MySpace, bro. This is a big thing. I did not understand that was something big. But yeah, he contacted me. He was like, I fuck with you. He followed me on Twitter. Then I followed him on Twitter. And then when I got, I think we got each other on Facebook. And then when IG popped, we followed each other on IG. But he's a director, and he also does graphic design. And he knew like a lot of plugs in the UK. And when I did that jump shit, he was like, yo, send that shit to my email. I was just like, all right. He was like, I might could do something with it. I was like, what is it gonna hurt that I send it? I sent it to him, and apparently, like, he has hella plugs over there. So, like, he had people co-signing that shit. So, if you go on my, like, jump shit, you'll see a lot of UK motherfuckers liking that shit. It's very, like, it got, honestly, those millions of views or whatever it got is all from UK. And,
damn.
But it's called, it was this shit called Swanky TV or something like that. Them niggas,
yeah, I heard of that.
Them niggas getting paid off my video, but I'm not. I ain't tripping though. Like, it ain't that serious. But I'm not the one. I don't get that money. My shit only got like 50K on Fresh Jam TV or whatever. But they probably getting a little nice check.
Yeah, you got the recognition though. It kind of like it put you there. I remember when I woke up that day and I seen your video on World Star. It was right there on the main page.
My nigga, I just got woke up out of my sleep, bro. I just went to sleep. Me and Zoe was staying with each other, and that nigga just knocked on my door. Nigga, my roommate, I'm thinking somebody robbing the spot. He's like, nigga, what's up? And I'm just like, shit, what's good? Or he's like, nigga, you on World Star? I was like, stop bullshitting with me. I'm trying to sleep, bro. Nigga, he was like, go here. I was like, damn, bro. And that was when World Star was like, it meant
World
something.
Star,
yeah, it was. That was the shade room. That was the shade room.
For you when that shit
that
happened,
was appreciated. That was the shade room then. And so I was like, oh shit, I don't know what this means. But I know a lot of time, not to go on a tangent, in those situations, I don't be knowing what to do with it. Now I kind of do, I guess.
I was just about to say
but I don't really
that,
know what to do with that. Like,
dog, where you are now, the next time that happens to you, you already know. Just step on the gas.
It's just, and I'll say, like, I think that was in, that nigga, I went to a So Def reunion in like 2013. That was when they did the 20th anniversary. Because I think last year they did the 25th. They did the 20th anniversary then, and I went to a concert, and that was the last time Criss Cross did their own shit. And like, I'm like one of like 5 people who like love Criss Cross, because like they were one hit wonder, right? But like their whole 90s thing, I slick copied and pasted their whole, like, I watched what they wore and was like, I'm wearing that shit as a grown ass man. Like, that, I really cared about their group. Most people like, oh yeah, I know that song Jump, whatever, but I really fucked with them. So I saw them in person for the last time, and then he died, like, that was in February, he died like in May. And yeah, bro, I like that video I did. Actually, I really did it in 2011 going into 12. And so when I first put out in 2011, I got some hits. Like, I actually got a couple thousand hits. But when he passed, somebody found that shit and was like, World Star, y'all need to get on this shit. You know what's crazy? That same video, I contacted World Star. I got like a contact and emailed them and was like, hey, this is my shit. And they sent me back a list of like what it would cost to get on their page. I was like, oh, I ain't got that shit. And then like a year later, I got on that bitch for free. Like, now it was at the result of like somebody passing. And I felt weird about it. I was like, bro, I don't want to come up off somebody's death. But that's what happened in that situation. So I was like, damn. But yeah.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. Chris Kelly from Criss Cross. I'm like the only nigga who knows their whole story, but that's I cared about them niggas.
Nah, I noticed that about you too, dog. Yeah. Like, dog, you really fuck with the 90s, bro. What got you on that?
Cause I used to fuck with the 80s, to be real with you. Like, I fuck with the 90s, but like, man, we went to high school together. Like,
yeah,
man, we had them little high school beefs and shit. If you go back to, and I don't even have none of that old shit, but like, the little fake ass beefs with like Surge. We can say names and shit.
Yeah,
like, okay,
yeah.
Surge. Shout out to Surge.
Yeah, that's my brother.
But shout out to Surge. But like, so if you go back to this track, it was called Clap Back. I just basically bit the riff of Eazy-E's Boys in the Hood Are Always Hard. And I
I remember.
I took that shit and made it a beat of my own. And I was like rapping on an 80s type beat in like 06. It was like looking back at it now, it's kind of comical because it's like, nigga, what the fuck? Like, why were you rapping like you was on some 2 years ago? Like, nigga was on that shit in 2005 or whatever. Like, I was still spitting or whatever. Don't get me wrong. Like, I had bars and shit, but I was really into that shit. It's almost like every era I tried to like master that shit just because I'm like a true hip hopper. So I'm like, yo, I break down this shit to a science to me. This is me learning my shit. So I'm on my 80s wave. Like, that's when, I know you remember when me and Zoe had like them big ass dookie ropes and shit like that. I was in 80s. I tried to, like, before Straightwreck, I was trying to put together this crew called the Juice Crew, which
I remember that.
The Juice Crew spelled with a K. The real Juice Crew was an 80s group with Big Daddy Kane, MC Shan, Roxanne Shante, whatever, Marley Marr or whatever. And I was like, I'm gonna make my version of that. So I was on the 80s wave. And then when I was like, all right, it's time to do something else. And then no diss to the 80s, but like they had not, they made good music in the sense of like that was early rap and shit, but like they were very basic, right? Like they wasn't bars yet. Like I think one of my favorite rappers is Big Daddy Kane. I think I got his shit behind one of those shits. He's one of my favorite rappers because he was the one 80s rapper who like, nigga, I'm about to say more than them shout raps. I call the 80s shout rap. Like, them niggas was like, hey, yo, tall, niggas in the front.
Yeah.
Like, Big Daddy Kane was the first nigga to be like, nigga, I'm gonna actually, like, spit some bars. So I fuck with him. So then it made me be like, all right, let me explore the 90s now. And then I realized, I was like, bro, this is my era. Like, I grew up, I remember having the first PlayStation. I remember all that shit. I remember Tommy Hilfiger, all that shit. So it stuck with me, bro. And it's like, it's a gift and a curse because, man, you'll be surprised, like, if you could be a fly on the wall when most people is like, oh, I'm listening to Lil Baby new shit and all that shit. Catch me right around 85, bruh. I'm listening to the same old shit, like Tribe Called Quest, whatever. Like, I don't know, and don't get me wrong, I'm not one of those people who's like, I hate the new music. Nah, some of that shit rock. Like, I like, y'all heard of the, I know Vadi be liking that nigga. His name is
NBA Young Boy.
I ain't even
from
Baby.
North Carolina.
Man, that nigga so hard to me, bro.
Yeah,
he's hard, bro.
He fired out.
And I ain't want to sound like a fangirl with that shit, but nah, he's dope. Like, for real. So it's not that I'm not open to it.
He's passionate too.
Yeah, it's not that I'm not open. It's just that, like, when it comes down to, like, I give it the road trip test, right? So let's say you got a 5-hour road trip. It's what you would put in your playlist to go 5 hours. For me, a lot of that new shit, they not making my 5-hour playlist, right? Because I can't just be in a car like, I would literally get a headache from that shit. So I'll listen to what I want to listen to. So I might be like, shit, I'll throw on the Snoop Doggy style album. I'll do this, whatever. That's just me or whatever. But I'm not, that's his best album. But that's just me, bro. But I don't, when I say stuff like that, I always have to give an asterisk and a disclaimer like, yo, it's not hating on the new niggas. I like a lot of those new niggas or whatever. But for me, my 5-hour test when I'm driving, I go to the 90s shit. And in their wardrobe, I still like, I like the in-your-face type shit. That's the type of rap style I have. I like that. The TV shows are the best. When we, like our cartoons, when we was young as fuck, compare what you had then to now, it's not even close. The movies, all that shit. It was just so much in the 90s that I say is a curse because I can't really like, I just can't really like shake that shit because it's like, man, the 90s was good to a nigga, not gonna lie. I remember that. Like, some people don't, we got a lot, we in the age of like, even doing this podcast, a lot of motherfuckers who watching this and all that shit probably younger than us and shit. And they might not get like, what do you mean the 90s? I'm like, bro, the 90s, nigga, that shit was dope. Like, you asked about my fucking Super Nintendo. I remember playing Donkey Kong on that shit. I remember Mortal Kombat on the Sega. I remember all that shit. Like, it's very vivid to me. Some people, the 90s might be a blur to them. For me, nope. I remember all that shit.
Bruh.
Karate Kid and all that shit. And fucking the Three Ninjas and Ninja Turtles. And yeah, so that's my thing.
Nintendo was dope. My favorite console was N64 though.
N64. I think that was like 99,
GoldenEye. Yeah.
Oh, everybody played that.
early
Super Smash
2000s.
Brothers, all that shit. Don't get me
Yeah,
wrong.
Super
Like,
Smash
2000
Brothers.
got some shit too. But
Yeah.
for me, it's literally the time frame from, now granted, I was born in 89, right? So 90, 91, 2, 3, 4.
Oh,
I'm
you got
still,
caught
like,
between.
I got caught between, but I was the nigga who went back and saw,
Yeah.
like, because like I'm saying, like, technically, I think the Super Nintendo came out in 93, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93. I'm like 4 or 5 years old, so I ain't really get the same experience as like a 10-year-old did. But what I did was, I went back and I was like, oh, this what y'all niggas got to feel like. This is dope. So yeah, it's cool. I have a bad habit of sometimes being like, I wish this was like this. I'm like, bruh, it's fucking 2019 now. It's like, get over it. So I get it. I tell myself all the time, like, nigga, get over it.
Nah, you ain't gotta get over it though.
You know,
bro, you always gotta stay true to you, dog. Dog, is Martin your favorite show of all time?
Of all time. Ask me
I
why,
already know
please.
it.
Ask me why, please. Let me
Why?
tell you this, because a lot of people use like Fresh Prince. I love Fresh Prince. That's number 2 for me. I really love it. I know every episode. I probably know as much Fresh Prince as I know Martin. Martin to me gave me gut busting laughs. I literally laughed. Like Fresh Prince, I laughed too. But Martin was just different. And honestly, he was he was able to be raunchy on a kind of family type show. Like, of course, there was but so much you can do on Fox. You can't curse and all that shit. But if you watch the old episodes, he did what he can to kind of stay true to himself, but then satisfying like the producers and shit. But Martin is like, I mean, that to me, that's epitome of 90s or whatever. He had all like the little guest stars or whatever. Like, to this day, you can still relate to old Martin episodes if you watch. And now we're actually in that age bracket. Like, when we were younger and we watched Martin, they probably maybe was in their late 20s or mid 20s. Now that we in our late 20s, going in the 30s, watch Martin now. I feel like you able to, like, you can think about it. When we was 7 years old and niggas was talking about bills and shit, you couldn't even relate. Even though I liked Martin then. But now, watch nigga talk about bills.
It's still
and
relevant.
You like, nigga, I just had a bill that. Like, we got bills now. So I think Martin is like my shit. Like, for real. I know every episode. I know every DVD. I be like, oh, that's, you talking about this 2, season 3, episode 4 on that? I'm crazy about it.
That's where your logo came from, isn't it?
Yeah, so this for the people seeing, definitely inspired by Martin. Just his radio station was WZUP. I took that bitch off and put Jam there by my homegirl Ladina, which she from.
I was about to ask you who made the logo.
North Augusta, Adina Berry. She's very talented. She went to SCAD. She's like award winning. She's really, really dope. Anything I need, which you probably should holler at her too.
I was about to ask that.
Yeah, graphic design, all that. That's like what she does for a living. Like, that's not like a hobby for her. She actually does that for a living, and she's passionate, and she does painting and all that shit. So she just was able to. I had the thought I wanted to change that to Jam. She kind of just brought it to life for me. So definitely get all that from Martin. I'm not one of those people who be like, I wasn't inspired and I didn't get this from art. Is art. Everybody borrows from everybody. Everybody gets inspired from everybody. Honestly, with this music shit, there's nothing that hasn't been done under the sun.
Correct.
Everything has
They're
been.
just
So when
things.
motherfuckers be like, "Oh, I was the first," no, you weren't. I bet you I can point back to somebody who did that shit before you. It's just art. It's just, can you do it better than the last person? Can you do that? Whatever. So it's all borrowing, and it's cool. It's art. It's supposed to be. J. Cole said this a long time ago. He was like, I wish they would ban where like you got to go through all these great links to sample music.
Yeah.
Nigga, you put your art out for everybody, right? You put your art out to the world, and then you gonna tell a nigga, nah, you can't use this because blah blah blah. Nah, it's art, bro. That shit changes the world. Let somebody use that in the way they want to use it. Period.
I don't think you should be able to play songs on your song, like the exact song.
Right.
But you should be able to sample whatever the hell you want to, bro.
Agreed. I agree
Like,
with that
as
shit
far
too.
as, like, if you have the same type melody, like, didn't Sting sue Juice WRLD?
I'm not even sure, but I can see that
Sting
happening.
sued Juice WRLD over Lucid Dreams.
And he didn't sue. Well, maybe because Diddy got permission, but you know that every step you take, whatever.
Yeah.
But that nigga like was on stage with him singing that shit. But then again, that might have been, if you got permission with it, cool. But if you don't got permission, then I would be mad too, though. Like, for me, even though I'm saying you should be able to sample, like, well, I don't know. I guess if you ask me and be like, yo, I want to use this track, more than likely I'm gonna be like, yeah. But I guess somebody could say no. And if you not asked at all, I can see how you feel away. Like, oh, this nigga didn't even. I would have cleared it if you would have asked the nigga, but you just went ahead and made a song, got millions of hits and all this shit, and I don't receive nothing from it. So I see both sides of it, but still, overall, I say that once you put it out to the world, bro, I think it's art, bro. It's like Nigga, it's you use like look at art as a painting. Like if I paint a picture and I put that shit in the museum and everybody go see it, and the nigga get inspired and he does something kind of like mine, basically sampling my work, I can't get mad. That nigga got inspired by what I did. So it's art. It's for the world, bro. So you could do your own rendition of it.
Yeah, we definitely need to dead that shit.
Yeah.
All that suing over samples and shit. Cause bro, the best dog, my favorite songs of this generation is samples.
Yeah. I try not to use. I'm lying. Nah, I be using them shits like a lot. But I try not to because like I be trying to submit like right now the wave I'm on right now. Besides like being an actual artist, I'm trying to submit songs for movies and film and television shows and commercials and shit. And one of their number one things is you cannot send them sample shit because they don't want to pay for it. Like I submitted some shit to there's a show called She Gotta Have It by Spike Lee off the movie. On Netflix or whatever, and I actually like the show, and they had like an open thing where you can submit music to, and I wasn't even thinking in those terms, and there was a couple tracks I submitted that they had samples on, and then after I submitted it, I started looking in the little linear notes, and it was like no songs with samples. I was like, well, them niggas ain't gonna pick me, like that's dead. But I try not to use samples because of that. Because I want to submit my shit to like companies where they can use my shit free.
Everything be original.
So now I'm trying to, but don't get it twisted. Like I'm trying to drop some shit like in the next month or two that's sample heavy. I don't give a fuck, bro. If the song's out, it's out. But as far as submitting it to companies and shit, I be trying to dead the samples because I want to actually get my shit used.
What project you working on right now?
Shit, that's up in the air, man. I'm kind of just making music. I've literally went back and forth so many times saying like, are you making a project or are you gonna do this? Because for me, here's the thing, I feel like in this day and age, unless you on or you establish, I don't think we have the brain capacity to sit through a new nigga's whole project. I think you should just make a dope ass track. I said that before. Keep making dope ass tracks, and then if the fucking demand is there, put all them shits together. For me, I'm just like, what I look like putting 12 tracks together, and people do it all the time. And look, I could wake up tomorrow and be like, nah, I'm totally against that shit. I want to put 12 tracks together. But right now, the wave I'm on right now, I just want to make bangers upon bangers. And if there's a demand where niggas like, nah, we need you to put some shit together, I'll do it. Right now, as far as project, I don't have one. I'm recording music for something. It might be put together. It might be released 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But that's the wave I'm on right now. Cause I don't trust our ears in this day and age. Nobody wants to hear.
Fans are
honestly, yeah, man. It's just like no, they're not. So it's like, why waste your time trying to goddamn, bro? I got 15 bangers, and like I said, if you own right now, I can see why you would do it. Like you Meek, all right, you all the stuff you've been through. We need a body of work to like record this moment in time. I get it, but for me, it's just like, bruh, I don't know if I want to come out with it. And if I do, it's going to be short as fuck. Like, it's going to be like 4 tracks. It's going to be EPs. I ain't trying to make no, like, fucking statement. But I don't fuck with Kanye West. But what I will say, I do like the idea of the 7-track album thing. Okay. Because it's just enough to be like, oh, I see where you going. But it's not so much tracks where you like, bruh, nigga, you got 18 tracks. How am I going to get through this, bro? This is wild. So 7 tracks is enough, like, and then tracks are shorter now. Ain't no tracks going 4 or 5 minutes no more. Tracks are like 2:30.
I'm gonna be real with you though, dog. I only feel like Tiana Taylor and Daytona was the only good albums that came from those 7 tracks.
I heard Daytona and I heard Tiana Taylor's and I heard Nas's off the strength of Nas.
Nas album was weird to me.
I got Daytona and Tiana, definitely. Daytona being number 1 and Tiana being number 2. I didn't listen to Ye's. I heard a couple tracks off like just on the radio or whatever, but I didn't hear the he made one with Kid Cudi too, right? I don't think I've heard a song from that, and if I did, I just don't know the name. Maybe I have, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's from that album. But no, I heard Tiana Taylor's. I liked it. Daytona, I liked it for him. But not, like I said, my whole point of saying that was not even to like, even I guess, praise him. I just like the format of like 7 tracks. That's not bad. Because the last EP that I did had 7 tracks. And I was like, you know what? That's like just enough. Like, it's cool. Like, you should be able to get in a vibe within 7 tracks, but still not be so lengthy where niggas is like, I'm tired of hearing your shit. Like, wow, nigga, we got 10 more tracks after this. We got 17 tracks. So I like the 7-track idea for me, for this new age. Because, like I said, if I do a project, I'm probably going 4 or 5 tracks, to be honest with you.
And that's really all people can consume
at one time, yeah.
It's kind of like the perfect analogy I can give to it is like, it's kind of like going to Golden Corral. Why would you spend $14 knowing that you're only going to get one plate?
Real shit, bro.
You might as well go get a $5 meal.
That's a superb analogy, yeah. So, that's kind of how I am with that. So, I'm just going to drop tracks right now, and I might bundle it with 4 or 5 together and be like, this is this. But ain't no way I'm going 10, 11, 12, 13. That's just me, my personal opinion.
Yeah. Dog, bro, I always wanted to ask you this. How did Straightwreck come apart?
I got this song called Double Time I came out with in like 2010, I think. And at the beginning of that shit, man, I don't even know if fucking it'll pick up on the mics or whatever, but I literally said blah 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 something, and I straight wreck everything. I hop on or whatever.
Yeah.
And then something was like, yo, key in on that straight. And I ain't even gonna like fucking flex on. Somebody might have said like, yo, you need to do something with what you. I'm like, what you talking about? That phrase, that what? I don't know. I don't remember at the time, but I was like, straight wreck. I fuck with it, and I don't like. It's not even like a label per se. It's kind of like a movement. It's kind of like what I would consider that shit with like. Cause ASAP Mob is not. It's not ASAP Records, but it's like a movement. So with me, it's kind of like Straightwreck. I don't care if you fucking paint. I don't care if you a fucking plumber. If you with the team, nigga, you a Straightwreck plumber, bro. Like that's kind of how it is. I just wanted something universal that like even though we all doing different shit, we can all come back and say we represent this one thing, and that's just to wreck everything. Wreck. There was a phrase back in the 90s called catch wreck or wreck. Wreck has been a thing used in hip hop a long time ago. And it's basically meaning what the shit you killed that shit. It's dope. It's fire or whatever. Mm-hmm. I just use wreck because back then it used to be like catch wreck. I didn't think catch wreck records or whatever would sound dope or catch wreck entertainment. I was like, but you can straight wreck some shit. Like damn, if you come off like, hey, I saw your podcast. Hey, y'all niggas straight wreck that shit. So I just said straight wreck, and then like with my homies and shit, I was like, yo, this kind of movement I'm doing, I don't really know the direction, but I just know that we all doing real dope shit. I want to be able to like everybody like just for searchers on the internet to be like, yo, who they with or whatever, because I think those are like questions that come after when you find an artist, like okay, who they signed to or who they with or whatever. I like straight wreck that it'd be all brought back to like, oh, all these niggas in this straight wreck umbrella. So the whole goal is, of course, if you having a prestigious name like you saying you wreck, or even if you say straight dope entertainment, everything I'm assuming got to be dope as fuck. So whatever, if you repping the set, your shit need to be dope, and I wanted to be led back to straight wreck. So that's basically what it was. It's kind of a movement, honestly. Tax purposes, shit, nigga, you know, I definitely register it with that, but it's Straight Records is its own entity, but I don't be charging niggas. We kind of just a community. Once we get off the ground fully, then we can talk about like, okay, we gonna do all this. But right now, it's a movement. So when people be asking about Straight Rec, it is a movement, right? So you want a Straight Rec hoodie? Holla at me, holla at Benzo, holla at whoever, whatever. We got Native Sounds, Straight Rec, Jam, Straight Rec, Zoe, Straight Rec, fucking Bree, Straight Rec. We got like just a bunch of people. I don't care if you make beats. Mayo, Straight Rec. Like, oh nigga, I don't know how that would happen, but you a gymnast. Straight Rec gymnast. Like, I don't give a fuck. As long as it's dope, you with the team, bro. And it's just something to basically like pull us all in together. I feel like, to me, I consider that shit like a hashtag. It's something that's searchable, that if you type in Straight Rec, you gonna discover this person, this person, this person, this person. So it's kind of a strategy to it. Like, it's a hashtag. Just look at it as a hashtag. Straight Rec. But yeah,
I get it. I support it too, and I see exactly why Native Sounds got on board, because I'm real close with them niggas. And
shout out to Native Sounds.
Yeah, shout out both of them, Quay and Chuck, and shout out Forte too.
Forte.
But I see exactly how you and Chuck probably had that conversation.
Honestly, Chuck might have been the nigga who told me. I just not remembering. Like, he might have been the nigga to been like, hey, yo, you know what? I think he was the person to be like, Straight Rec is it, bro.
Yeah,
oh, word.
Chuck always got.
Because you talking, and he probably was a nigga. Like,
I talk to Chuck often, especially about this podcast and shit. I talk to him often, bro.
Yeah, so they're my boys, bro. And I was like, yo, the crazy thing is like, when Quay got out of his situation or whatever, I remember when before that he was like kind of rapping or whatever, but it was like, man, let's be real, like in Augusta, like everybody kind of got the rapping bug at some point or whatever. And so when Quay first did that shit, I was just like, oh, like these all my niggas, we all friends outside of this shit, regardless of what happened. And then came out of that situation, and Wills was like, yo, I'm doing native sounds, me and Quay rapping or whatever. And I was like, I heard you rap before, right? Because me and Wills got songs from like 08 and shit or whatever, right? But like I had only heard Quay kind of play around. These niggas booked the studio session at Icon Studios here, and I was like, these my niggas regardless. Like me and Quay cool too. And I get in the studio, and I came late. Like I came at like 5. These niggas had been there all morning or whatever.
Oh, I remember that. That's when they recorded their first project.
Yeah. So they were like, man, how you feel? Like humble as fuck. Like how you feel about this? I'm like, I didn't have any. At this point, like I said, I was like, I heard Quay on some like just play around shit. Wills, I kind of could vouch for more because we had tracks. But push play on that shit, I was like, oh, y'all niggas a part of the squad, bro. Like, it's no question. Like, you guys got it. And I heard Quay, I was like, this nigga, like, I'm sitting here like, wait, play that back? Like, okay, so, and like, honestly, I think one of the first tracks they played, or I might have been walking in when 900 Degrees was playing. And that's mostly Quay. And I'm like, oh shit, who this new nigga are? That's Quay, bro. I was like, oh, okay, so y'all for real. And I was like, man, ain't no reason why we not
them niggas
down in the same squad. Yeah,
Damo, we played their music on the way here, ain't it?
Nah, them my guys,
rap,
Quay can spit, Wills can spit. I like their dynamic of like, I feel like they kind of, you know how like, well, and I don't even want to say it in that way, but like, wherever, if there is anything missing, the other one got it. Like it's just like it ain't no it's not.
You know what it reminds me of? What? One of your favorite groups of all, probably your favorite group of all time, Outkast.
Out motherfucking cast.
Cause bruh, yes bruh. Cause bruh, this is what it is with them. It's kind of like Quay is kind of like 3 stacks ish. And then Chuck, he's kind of like big boyish. You know what I'm saying? Like Chuck come with them real conscious lyrics,
right?
And then Quay, he got the whole image, bro. Like Quay is a rapper. Like when you see him out in public, he's a rapper.
Artist, definitely artist. And don't get me wrong, like Chuck could tell you as that too. He's definitely been like, oh, Quay got the whatever. But nah, their whole dynamic. Like I'm just thinking of it's crazy because I was just bumping a first joint like 2 weeks ago, and I was like, man, it's so organic just because I saw this shit being built, and I was like, wow, y'all niggas just went in there and like honestly. Their work ethic in that studio at that time made me insecure, straight up. Cause like I just said earlier when I was like, bro, I be in here like, should I say this? Should I say that? Them niggas was like, fuck all that. I'm going in there, I'm spitting what I gotta spit, and we going into the next track. And I was like, damn, I gotta stop spending hours upon hours trying to rhyme this with this and make sure I'm politically correct and all this shit. These niggas was like, I'm going from the direct heart. I might offend, I might not offend.
That's how I feel when it comes to this podcast shit. I feel the same way, bro. And I have people hit me up all the time. Just going off what you said, people hit me up. Like I actually had somebody recently, and they was like, I wanted to start this podcast thing, but I sat down and I actually listened to your podcast from the first episode till now, and it kind of discouraged me from wanting to start it because you're just so good at this. I don't think I can compete. And I was like, it ain't no competition.
I was about to say, man, don't go in there competing, bro. You know what I'm saying? Stay in your lane.
Exactly. Everybody got their lane, and I got a certain lane, and trust me, you ain't going to be able to bump into this lane because there's only one me and there's only one you.
Hey.
That's all you're going to be able to do.
Shit. That's real shit.
For real. But I feel the same way. I got people that I don't want to say admire, but people that I see when it comes to the podcasting thing. Like it's a guy in Augusta. He has a podcast called More Than the Masters. I've been following him for a little while, and he got a real good podcast.
Word.
And I'm like, that's what motivates me. I'm not one of them people that just shy away and be like, oh, okay, like he's doing his thing, so that's his thing. Let me get off this and try to find me something nobody else is doing. Nah, I see it and I'm like, yeah, he's doing real good. Yeah. Hopefully, soon I'm gonna get there too. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't
and I like that.
discourage
That's
me.
admiring. That's motivating. And you know,
Yeah.
some people will take that as like. Some people use that same shit and be like, nah, man, the only reason why he really big is because blah, blah, blah. I like the fact that you going at that shit like, you know what? I'm going to strive for that shit.
Yeah.
Some people will look at that shit and be like, nah, bro, like trying to downplay it and all that. You can't have that ego as a man where you can't uplift somebody else, bro. For real. That's when you get in your own way. When you can't give somebody else credit, bro, you get in your own way, bro. You should be able to be like, nigga, you killed that shit. I tell everybody that shit, like, bruh, be able to give somebody else props, bruh. It's human, it's humbling, it's cool, it makes you better as a person. Never feel like you too good to be like, bruh, you killing that shit, and I just want you to know that shit.
See,
ain't nothing wrong with it. It don't take nothing from you, bruh. Nothing.
Bruh, podcasting is a little different from rapping, too. Like, when it come to rappers egos are fucking disgusting, bruh. Everybody got egos, like... this studio we're in now, if it was full of rappers, you can literally take a fucking knife and cut each ego in pieces, bro. When it comes to this podcast shit, I've been noticing, like, the people I've been dealing with that do podcasts, it ain't really it ain't too much egos involved. Don't get me wrong now, when you get to a higher level like Joe Budden versus Charlemagne, their egos get involved. But for the most part, when people starting off, it's not really a lot of egos. But that rap shit, dog, I be seeing that shit, and I be like, I don't see how y'all deal with people and their egos.
Well, I definitely agree with that. But, like, the bigger... And I think this is just human nature. I don't even know if it's on some rap shit, period.
Correct. Animal ambitions.
So, the bigger you get with this, the more hits you see, the more people they start talking about your podcast. Trust me. It's gonna be a nigga throwing, even if it's slight shade, it's gonna be a nigga doing that shit just because, like I said, I encourage motherfuckers to, like, salute motherfuckers, but it's always one, right? It's always a nigga who like, oh, the only reason, it's always them only reason niggas or whatever.
Yeah.
And don't even, for you, bruh, this is my advice to you. I know it wasn't even asked, but just me telling you, if you ever run into that shit, bruh, I promise you, you don't even gotta address none of that shit. That shit don't exist to you. This your world, you got your own shit, you about to get sponsored, you about to do all that shit, you about to brand your shit. Mm-hmm. Don't worry about it. And I promise they'll see that and be like, ah, shit, there's nothing I can do about it. You know how you said on Twitter, you kind of feel like you talking to yourself? That'll be the situation. Niggas would be like, wow, I'm literally beefing with myself. This nigga don't even hear me.
Yeah,
so, like,
that's how I feel about everything. Like, a lot of people like to go back and forth on internet and shit like that. Bro, I ain't never been like that. I ain't never had a bone like that in me, dog. I don't even know how to respond to that.
I don't like that type of attention, man. I definitely over the years became like a nigga who's like brand first. So I be like, I look at shit in a PR stance. Like, bruh, you want this to be like attached to you? Nope, I'm straight. I'm cool. I'd rather. I guess take a chink on my armor. Like, all right, I guess I took a L on this one, but I'm not going back and forth. Like,
I ain't gonna lie, bro. You sounded like Drake in the Pusha T beef.
Oh yeah, he did say that shit. He did say that shit, and that's probably where a nigga got it from. But it's for me. It was just like I said, I think brand first. So I'm just like, if you like, I nigga gotta be careful, but. If you just have this mentality, the crabs in the barrel mentality, like, I'm not concerned about it, nigga. I'm concerned about my brand. So, whether you throwing shots at me, and don't get me wrong, with this rap shit, it is a little different because I don't think, and granted, niggas might, but I don't think niggas just gonna have like a full, we about to go in as Slim. Like, this next podcast, we dissing his ass. We taking turns going in. We got an hour long worth of shit just going out on this nigga. Rapping shit, somebody could drop a diss record. For me, it's just like brand. It's just like, yo, if I respond to so-and-so, do I look lame doing that shit? And I think about shit like that. I'm just like, bruh, I'm not even getting involved. Now, don't get me wrong, rap is a sport and all that shit, and I'll go with whoever. Like, I still care about that aspect of hip-hop. But there's certain things you don't need. Like, your podcast, I don't see anybody in, shout out to Augusta, anybody in Augusta, you shouldn't be beefing with none of them motherfuckers. Like, it should be, even if somebody came at you, it's like, okay, anyways, my brand about to be sponsored by fucking Ciroc right now. I'm not
Yeah.
Honestly, you're meant, and for this platform, even worse than rapping, you mentioning somebody on this platform helps them out more than you think, right? Because I can rap and say something and somebody might not go and fucking research it. With the podcast, since your whole thing is talking, You fuck around and talk about somebody too much, you might be giving them the fucking promotion they actually want. So that's why you would have to be careful on this shit. Like, oh, I don't want to say names because you nigga, who knows? There might be some curious motherfuckers watching my shit like, who this nigga talking about? And damn, you just gave him a hit. You might have gave them a hit to let them go over and they just went top 10.
You're right, bro. That's anything you do too.
So
that's why whenever I'm on my podcast, bro, I only talk about people I really rock with.
Right.
Like if you're my brother, I'll say your name on the podcast because we family.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Real shit.
We family.
Yeah.
But yeah, bro. I ain't gonna lie, dog. I love like sitting down talking to people that do music that's real passionate about it, dog. I can hear the passion every time you speak about it. Like you already know that it's just one break away.
That I mean, honestly, a nigga
kind of
gotta look at it that way because man, we was just talking about how motherfuckers can accidentally get on when you busting your ass and a nigga can just stumble upon a situation. And to keep a nigga sane, you gotta kind of look at it like, bro, you just went away. And I made, like in 2018, I made more strides. And I'll keep it real with myself and people. Don't worry about that. But I'll keep it real with myself. Last year I gave in the 80 percentile. Like I gave about 80 something percent at my shit. And that's good actually because I look at it like that mean you got a good 20% you can do better at, right? Mm-hmm. So like, cause I always said this is how I look at the music thing. Now, you know that to me, like age is like, that's that shit that people used to talk about back in the day. You gotta be this certain age. And I understand that young niggas like, are like 17, 18 now, on or whatever. I don't really look at that right now. Good is good, and good is don't matter what age, right? If you good. Now I just kind of say last year I did 80%, and I made strides. I did some shit that I can't even really even talk about on a podcast just because like niggas kind of like contractually can't even say shit, right? But I did shit just giving 80%. So now 2019 is like, all right, you gave 80%. What does your 100% look like? If you was able to accomplish this, like I'm gonna keep it real. I dropped like I said, the thing that got on the Shade Room. I dropped that shit in maybe June 20th. Homeboy had a bachelor party, a bachelor weekend trip in Miami. I do these little things called So Dope Sundays. Go look on my page at Fresh Jam on Instagram, Twitter, all that shit. But I do these things called So Dope Sundays. And I used to, like, back in the day, I was like, yo, I'm going to do this shit, like, every week, every two. Like, how we've been talking about how we have to be everything. I realized that's wow. Like, oh, shit. I literally got to come up with a rap, record it, do this, do the video, all this shit. Week to week, I was like, too much for a nigga. So, I didn't put a time on it. Every now and then, it'll be a Sunday, and out of nowhere, I'm just going to drop a So Dope Sunday. That's just what I'm going to do. I'm not going to say when I'm going to do it. I'm not going to do it once. I could do it twice in 1 month, or I could do it once in 1 month. But I was like, it's time to do one. Since my last one, I was in Miami. We was at an Airbnb for a homeboy's little bachelor trip, and I said, yo, tomorrow morning we just gonna jump on the roof and we just gonna shoot. And Zoe was like, shit, fuck it. My nigga Zoe, shout out to Zoe. Nigga, I would just be down with the shit. That nigga didn't even hit me with like, what, nigga, whatever. He was like, all right, tomorrow we jumping on the roof. So we actually, I don't even think we did it that next day. I think we did it on the last day and was on some panic shit. Like, bruh, I wanted to jump on this roof before we did. We literally go out of town back to Atlanta. Tomorrow, let's do it. Got up, got on that shit. Took us maybe 15 to 20 minutes. And I was like, bet. The next day we get on the plane. I'm editing my shit on my MacBook on the plane. I get to Atlanta. I settle in. I do like a little bit more editing to it. And I was like, all right, I'm dropping this shit like 6, 7 tonight. And I drop it. And, you know, I get hits and everybody like, oh, this so dope. And I see people like Shade Room, like, I'm happy as fuck that motherfuckers is like, tagging the Shade Room like, y'all should look at this, y'all should look at this. And people are sending me screenshots like, oh, Shade Room responded to me, because Shade Room respond and be like, thank you. They might be like TY for thank you, or they might send a heart back, but they not gonna be elaborate. And so in my head I was like, Shade Room's a long shot, but I appreciate motherfuckers for like tagging them in it. That was in June 29th. Getting on there, I didn't know I was already in the queue. Apparently they had already put my shit like, oh, we gonna post this. I don't know when they gonna post it, but we gonna post it. But in my head, I'm like, shit, well, I gotta start working on my next shit. I'm already like trying to record a new video or whatever. And then I think it was like August. I don't want to. I'm bad with time. I think it was like August. Chuck's sister, Carrie, out of nowhere, actually just like added me on Instagram and was like, "I'm going with @FreshJam." I was like, "What's she talking about?" So I click on what she's talking about. Bam, on the shade room. And I was like, "Damn, we just like was on the roof for like 15 minutes. I did that shit like a month and a half ago. How the fuck did they just see a nigga?" And then
it's crazy. You just never know.
Just like I didn't. I was like, damn, I did this. Like I was like, if it was gonna get on Shade Room in my head, it would have already been on. That's how I thought about it. Little did I know, niggas just was waiting. And honestly, they had me battling somebody. That's the last one they did. They haven't done one after that. I was the last like little Shade Room little battle shit. I was like,
it was called The Roommates.
The Roommates something or whatever. But if you look back, they stopped doing that shit after. I don't know the rhyme or reason behind that, but shit, I'm cool with being the last nigga. I'm cool with that shit. Yeah. Then like that shit, I dropped another video for my song Legit. Then A3C. Let me tell you something about A3C. Shout out to A3C. I ain't gonna lie, I had a bone to pick with the A3C hip hop festival because years ago, and I think you still can do it, you can submit your stuff to try to be like on a main stage, a real stage. A lot of these niggas have some cap ass stages where like they'll use A3C logo, but you're not really on A3C stage. Like to be in a A3C stage, you gotta be on their website and shit. So if anybody be like, "Oh, I'm performing for A3C," if you're not on the website, you're not really performing for them. You performing some side nigga who done hustled you out your shit. So years before that, I submitted some shit. I'm gonna keep it real, bro. And this is, you know how we say on Instagram, we don't say our L's. Them niggas told me, "Nah, but here's a discount to be a fucking audience member." Like them niggas was like, "No, we don't. We're cool on that, but here's 20% to buy a ticket." And I felt a certain way because in my head, this is the rapper ego. Like, nigga, I know the niggas y'all be having. I know I'm better than at least some of them motherfuckers. And that was like 2016. When 2017 came up, I was like, bro, I ain't submitting shit. I ain't going to A3C. I ain't doing none of that. I was anti-A3C. So this is me trying to get on A3C 2016. By 2018, because I did the Shade Room thing and then I dropped Legit after that, them niggas came to me. By the way, 2016, I paid. Like, I literally had to submit money to submit my shit to get on the A3C stage. They told me no and gave me a discount. 2018, I didn't even attempt. I was actually like, A3C ain't my shit. Them niggas came to me. I ain't pay a damn thing. And I was on the official stage. So, Shade Room, A3C. Then there's a nigga at Empire. If y'all don't know Empire Records, Empire is like XXX, Zone That Shit, Rest in Peace. Nigga Snoop is on that shit. It's basically like a distribution label. It's like it's the new shit. Like they basically, you're independent but you're not. Like they're the distro for you. They're distributing everything. Got to sit down with a nigga at like an official meeting. Got to do all that shit. Like I said, there's another thing I can't say right now, but I'll tell y'all niggas off of this. But got to do that shit. All this is literally from me giving 80%. And
so what you saying is once you put on that gas and
what about
in
2019? Exactly. What about 2019? What if I like stepped it up a notch in 2019? I did it, and this is all from, I won't even count because I put like the Shade Room thing I put up in June, but I'll count where in the Shade Room put me up. So August till about October, a nigga was getting wins straight up. Like even if I wasn't even posting them shits, a nigga was getting win after win. I was like, wow, and I was like, I'm not even going my hardest right now. Now, granted, that's something I look back. In December, I looked back and was like, I wasn't going that hard. In the time, I was just like, I was living in the moment. But when I started looking back at it, I was like, bro, in a 4-month span, I was taking care of fucking business at 80%. I wasn't even 100% yet. So I look at 2019 as like, all right, nigga, it's time for liftoff. Give your all. And I always said, when I bring back to the age thing, if I give 100%, like if I look at myself in the mirror and be like, Jim, you gave your all. You did the best you can do. And nothing popped off of me, I will gracefully bow out. I won't always bow out from just music, but from being an artist, I'll be like, I'm done with that. I'm always produce. I have a love for music. I'll be that nigga who like married with 5 kids, but I got like a band in my garage. Like me and the fellas, I'm 45, but me and the fellas perform at local bars. I'll be that nigga.
Passion,
that's how much I love the game, even if I'm not an artist. But I will say, like, if I do all that in 100% and I don't get on, I'll DJ. I'll become an A&R. I'll do all that shit. I'll be around the game. I just won't be a artist. So right now, I'm not. I won't give up on the artist shit because I know I haven't given 100. And it's not that I was lazy giving 100. Some probably might be, but you know, life shit happens. Like I got a son. I got family. I got a lot of stuff, nigga. I got a lot of stuff that you know.
Speaking of that, bro, how do you balance doing music, working, and family life? How do you balance it?
I was trash at one point, and to be real with you, I can't say that I'm the guru of it right now. There are times that, like for me, sometimes when I'm recording, I just want to be me in the house by myself, bro. Even if you in the other room, I just like no, I want to be.
That's how I feel about podcasts.
I want to be fucking just me in the crib, getting in my own zone, get a drink, whatever, hit the vape, whatever, do that shit. Of course, I got a whole ass son. So, like, you can't just, like, put your son to the side. So, there are times where I know I've recorded and been like, damn, this is a moment I could have did this or whatever. So, I'm learning. But my son, no matter what, family comes first. And that's something that I've balanced. Like, family is number one to me. And, because, like, if this music shit fail, my family still be there. Vice versa. If my family turn their back on me, what if I never get on? Like a nigga, it's just it's a no brainer to me. But it's something I definitely have gotten way better at. Cause I used to just kind of like isolate myself. Like yo, my nigga, like you gotta stop. But I want to say that like I'm getting better at it. But I was never terrible. I have to let niggas know that shit. But I was never terrible. But I could have been better. I think everybody should look at themselves like, bro, could you have been a little bit better? Yeah, I could have. My son wants.
As far as which aspect?
Just
dad
like
life or.
Nah, my son
artistry.
wants for nothing. Like he good. I take care of my child. Like we good and all that shit. It's just maybe spending 4 hours when I could have spent 2 recording. I spent the whole 4 because I was so passionate in my craft that it's just like, damn, your son could have got those extra 2 hours. And it's just like simple shit like that maybe most people be like, oh, that ain't really nothing. But for me, I'm just like, nah, I'm going to be a hands-on parent. That's my guy. I want him to like, my dad wasn't in my life like that. Well, he wasn't in my life. So I'm the better version of him. Like I'm team dad. I'm going to be a soccer dad. I'm going to be the nigga. If I got to cop a van today, I'm doing that shit.
Hey, Jen, what you saying that, dog, I say this all the time. Last generation of parents, bro, they had a lot of flaws, and I love to see how we're picking up on it.
Yeah, honestly,
we're a lot better than our parents,
bro. I said this yesterday. There's some shit from our parents that they won't admit, but they got some toxic shit about themselves that they hate to admit. But like I told myself, and I used to fall in the trap that like, oh, they did this, so I must do this. Nah, the whole point of offspring. Like we should be able to do better than the generation.
You're supposed to always get better as people,
right. You just supposed to. Like if you ain't, then what are you living for, bro? You supposed to want to strive for the best. So there's of course there's some OG tips that you always gonna be like, okay, I'll make note of that. Mm-hmm. But I'm gonna do this shit myself, like how I want to do it or whatever. But yeah, I mean like my mom or whatever, phenomenal lady. For my kid, I just want to, since my dad wasn't there, I want to be like the extra great dad or whatever. Yeah. So that's why even though I'm like, it might sound petty when I'm like, oh, I spent like an hour extra on music when I probably should have used that 1 hour. Most people be like, bro, you good? You still there? I'm just like, nah. My dad was that trash that hour matters to me. That's all. You know what I mean?
Kind of like LeBron. LeBron speaks on that often.
Yeah.
My mom was amazing too.
Nigga, military, right?
Yeah.
Military, man. Come on. It's a certain discipline, bro. It just is, bro. Can't deny it. But yeah. So I mean, I balance it definitely better now. In the year 2018, I balanced it. My son is 3 going on 4 this year. So he was born in 2015. 2018, I did it way better than I did from 15 to 17. And I'm gonna continue that shit.
Bro, what's the difference in the music scene between Atlanta and Augusta? I know it's a big difference, but
there's pros and cons of both. So I'll give this analysis on it. Damn. Okay, so Atlanta, and there was this article that just came out. I didn't even really look into it, but basically there was like, yo, Atlanta is actually a city like that's bad for creatives. And I didn't look into it, but I'm willing to bet Chuck was talking about it. But I saw the headline. I ain't look into it. He said he actually read it. and I'm willing to bet in there is this. So here in Atlanta, even though the industry is here, the movie industry here, the music industry here, and you would think that would be like, oh, because that's why everybody be like, I'm coming to hell, nigga. 10 years ago, I said I'm coming to Atlanta to do the music shit. But what I learned in Atlanta is everybody wants to be something. There is no audience members. Nobody's just a regular Joe Schmo coming to your show like, I'm just here to enjoy good music, dog. When you go to the audience, it's a bunch of niggas like this. Because if you interview them after, they gonna be like, oh, well, I'm A&R for so-and-so. I'm 21 Savage cousin. I do this. I make beats. I rap also. I do PR. I had a little small role in this one movie. Nobody here is just like fans of music. So you can't even really, unless you connected or you paying out the ass, you can't really get on because I hate networking here. You're networking with artists. I think networking with artists is backwards because he's trying to get, or he or she is trying to get where you're trying to get. So linking with them, yeah, y'all can follow each other and shit, but put it this way, you an artist and you hungry for this shit and I'm an artist and we see each other at this networking event. I'm like, yo, follow me. You like, follow me. Are you really gonna help me get on before you help yourself? No.
Hell no.
You like, nigga, it's a dog-eat-dog world. So it sucks for networking here. What I would say about Augusta, even though, like I said, I haven't lived in Augusta in so long, but what I see from like Facebooks or whatever, I even though I be feeling like a lot of people are like rappers now and all that shit, and I no diss to it. Hey, do your thing, bro. Enjoy the music. I will say that you still might run into more people just being fans up there, or even in other smaller cities like Dallas. Like a lot of people moving to Dallas now, and I get why. Like if you want to do music, you can go to Dallas and actually be an artist, and you can walk in a room and you might be the only artist. Guess what? You can get fans like that. You walk in a room in Atlanta, you can be on stage and your whole audience is other rappers. That's not gonna help you. So it's not gonna help you. Like I'm not. And granted, like I don't have a hating bone in my body or whatever, but I just know in that situation, being honest with myself, if I'm really trying, I've been doing this for over this many years. If I had an opportunity, I'm taking that opportunity. I'm not giving it to your ass. You know what I mean? And it ain't even hating. It's just like, it's self-preservation. Like, okay, this is an opportunity. I know you dope and I seen you perform, but nigga, I'm doing that shit. So in Augusta, I can at least say you might be able to like get a fan base. But I will say I've seen, and since y'all live here, you let me know if I'm wrong. I'm starting to see Atlanta patterns that a lot of people starting to be artists too. Where like you might, and of course it's not as bad as here, but you might run into the little, you on stage, and if you got 100 crowd, nigga, 40 of them do some type of music too.
Bruh, you know what Augusta is doing that's getting real bad? What? They're beefing with the city. Like all the artists are sitting here complaining about, the city doesn't support their own, and that's why everybody goes to Atlanta and this and that and blah blah. It's like, bro, just make good music and put it out. We have the internet. It's these weird ass little Asian and white kids that's coming out from these weird ass cities that's popping out of nowhere. It has nothing to do with the city they're from. It's who they are as artists. People gravitate towards them. Make something that's different. Make something that's unique. Everybody wants to sound the same. I remember when we was in high school, it was a rapper. You probably don't remember this. I don't know if you moved to Augusta then or not, but it was a rapper. His name was Pimp Zilla.
I heard of that.
Yeah, he was a big rapper in Augusta, and I remember like I was young as hell, but I used to go to the clubs with some of the older guys that we know. I used to go to the club then, and I used to see him there and be like, damn, he's pretty big out here with the woo blah blah. Honestly, right now in Augusta, bro, we don't have nobody that's that big now.
Will y'all allow it? Like, will y'all allow somebody to be, or is it the beef thing? Like, y'all won't let nobody get big? Like
honestly, it's on both sides. It's on the people because we don't create the scene, and it's also on the artists because they beef with people for not creating a scene. But no, none of the artists are creating the scenes.
So what do you think? What's your step one to like get better at that shit? Like, what do you think y'all should do?
Honestly, I'm not an artist, but if I was an artist, my first thing as an artist would be to create a club. The first time I ever went to Tampa, Florida, I went there and my homeboy took me to the spot. He was like, hey, it's this little cool spot. They be having like locals night with blah blah. We go into there, I get a drink, and a couple people started getting on stage. They started rapping. And a couple people was decent. I was like, damn, it's pretty decent. Then at the end, it was a guy. It was like a big Puerto Rican. Sound just like Rick Ross. And everybody was like running to the stage like, oh, he had this, song that everybody knew every word to. And I was like, that's what cities are missing. That right there. It wasn't even Tampa, matter of fact. It was St. Petersburg right next to Tampa.
Gotcha. So you think people need a venue to like, like an open mic night every night? Where people could just
I think it's nowhere for someone to go and see these artists at. And the people that are invested into it, they're not creating that atmosphere.
To be honest, Atlanta doesn't have. I saw somebody just post this on Instagram the other day, and I thought about it. I was like, "Yo, that's real shit." Atlanta don't really like. Okay, so you got the Phillips Arena, which is now like State Farm Arena. Now you got the Fox Theater, you got the Tabernacle. Those are like big, like thousands of people. Then Center Stage just start getting smaller. But what we need is like that maybe fit 100 to 200 people. We need a bunch of those type shit. I think those intimate crowds where we can have like open mics and shit. We don't have a lot of venues like that. We don't have any real venues that fits that. We got the big shits, but nigga, imagine a nigga being like, I'm performing at State Farm Arena. Nigga, that shit'd be echoey as fuck if I went in there. I'm saying like we need those type of venues that y'all need too. So it ain't even just y'all. But honestly, and I don't want to be that nigga because I know people get so like passionate about my set and all this shit, and I don't want to speak on Augusta and I don't live there, but I can just speak on any like smaller city other than like the big one in the state. I can say you gotta find somebody to get behind. It gotta be. Remember when I was saying like even in your own circle, you would have to put egos aside and be like, this gonna be the nigga. All right, when he do his shit, correct. Fuck it, we gonna all come, and that's just in a circle. I feel like, and I won't say Augusta. I just feel like smaller cities might have to do that. Y'all might have to find a group. Y'all, native sound Straightwreck. Y'all might have to find a group, or y'all might have to find. I don't even care even if it's not them. Y'all might have to find that one person and be like, "Yo, I'm gonna be behind this guy because if he look good, then we look good." Now motherfuckers is like, "Well, damn, who else y'all got in Augusta? Like this nigga fire, he out of there." And I think that egos won't let that happen. That's the only thing. Like. That egos won't even let that happen in a big city. So I could imagine like Augusta or Columbus or Savannah that happening. But I just think that's what's needed. Like, gotta find somebody to like stick behind and be like, yo, that's my person. Like, and it's like, cause where you from, honestly, like that shit don't. If your music good, it really don't fucking matter, bro. Like it really don't matter. Like I'm just thinking, I like Jaden Smith. I think he's cool. But honestly, he's a privileged rich kid, right?
Correct.
He's a spawn of his son. I think he's a talented guy. I think he's innovative in his own way or whatever, but ain't nobody hitting him up like, oh nigga, where you from? That nigga grew up in Calabasas, I'm sure, right? So I say that to say like, where you from, that don't matter. Just get behind somebody in your city, lift them up, and then they gonna be looking for other people in your city. And now, who y'all lift up, don't get me wrong, they can't just shit on y'all, you know what I mean? You can't just lift somebody up and then that's the complaint, right? With most we did all this for you, and then you left the city and all that. Like, motherfuckers love to say shit like that. But I wouldn't even look at it in those terms. Just look at it like, yo, if Augusta's on the map because it's one person, even you love or hate them, more people are wanting to know, like, who else there, right? And that's when other people can come up. But that's just my take. Not even on Augusta. That's just for, like, any, like, city. Because you can't count the big cities. The big cities, that's when people, somebody always I'm from L.A., I'm from Chicago, whatever. But what about the people in Illinois who not from Chicago, but they like from 2 hours away, going east up 20. What about them niggas? Well, you just kind of got to support one person or a movement or whatever. But that's all I'm saying with that.
Bro, shit. I feel like that stands for anything that you do. People just don't know how to stand together and all come together. We started this shit out talking about a team. Yeah. Teamwork makes everything work. Teamwork makes the dream work. Ain't that what they say?
Yeah.
Just ride with the people that you know, man.
Yeah.
And for some reason, people they don't understand that. They don't understand that a strong team will take you so far, dog. See, I knew that from the beginning. The only reason why I kind of fell off from that shit is because I started to notice that, like, man, I can't depend on nobody but me. It's literally like Slim versus the world.
Because what we said earlier, like, who gonna care about it more than you, right?
Yeah.
Like, you depending on somebody to, like, love your craft like you love your craft, and unfortunately they're gonna fail every time. Nobody's gonna have that much. I haven't met, and I got best friends. I got people I consider like real close. Like nobody wants my dream for me more than I do. Like
Correct.
Straight up, I don't think.
And
like,
you'll never see nobody
nah.
that does.
So at a sense, even though we hate the headache of having to wear all these hats, like in a sense, kind of got to take pride in that and be like, well, to at least lift off, to at least get to that point. Once you get on, then yeah, you know, you can start delegating shit. But like in this space that we both are in, niggas, like do what you feel comfortable with your brand. So if that mean cutting motherfuckers off, if that mean adding additions, if that mean like whatever, just do what you gotta do. It's your vision, bro. Like you don't. The benefit of it being your vision is you don't have to succumb to anybody's like expectations. You don't have to like. There ain't no rules with that. You feel what I'm saying? You can just do what you want. Like so, just definitely do that. Do your own shit.
Bro, I love talking to an entrepreneur because most of the time it's hard talking to people that doesn't know anything about entrepreneurship. I see exactly where your drive is going and where you're headed. I love that shit, bro.
Appreciate
it. A lot of people lack that shit, bro. I love that shit, though. A lot of responses I get when I do podcasts with people that rap, I have a lot of people that listen to my podcast that don't even listen to rap music, but they love the passion that they hear.
Right.
So I just love that shit, bro. Because I know I'm passionate about what I do. I know you're passionate about what you do.
Real shit. And I mean, look, this an unscripted conversation. To get this detailed and shit, lets you know there's passion there. Like niggas, it wasn't no little. Okay, first we gonna like nah.
Yeah.
Speaking from what we experienced and going through, like that's as real as it gets.
That's what I love about a podcast too. It's not an interview.
Nope.
I didn't have a list for you and was like, oh, I'm gonna ask Jimmo this. I'm gonna ask Jimmo that. Nah, I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna have a conversation with you. And I actually got some real good information the other day. One of my closest friends that I talk to every day, he told me, he was like, you need to stop looking at things like an interview and just have an open conversation. Because the people that you want to be like, and I tell people this all the time, people they try to joke and be like, what's up, Charlemagne? What's up, Joe Budden? Yeah. Or like some people that don't like, and Legee, goddamn, yeah. But yeah, bro, so goddamn, bro, people try to joke and be like, okay, you're DJ Academics or some shit like that. I ain't trying to be like these motherfuckers. I can't stand that nigga. So when people say that, I know they don't like me when they say that. The person I want to be like Joe Rogan. That's my type person.
Joe Rogan, Fear Factor, Joe Rogan, comedian. Yeah,
bro, he's the number one podcaster.
Word?
Anybody that knows podcasting knows he's a number one podcaster. Number one black podcaster was I don't even know. I just had a brain fart. Homie that just got locked up fucking with Troy.
Tax
Stone, Combat Jack. Those was the number one podcasters, and now they're gone. So the lane is kind of open. You know what I'm saying? Really is. My homeboy I was talking to, he was telling me, he was like, you got to stop looking at it as an interview and just have you an open conversation. He told me that. Now I don't even write down notes. I don't write down topics. I kind of just go in there and I just do my thing, bro, and it comes out real good.
More organic, right?
Yeah. You write music?
What?
Do you write music down?
Yeah, like I'm still one of the old school cats. Now I do it in my phone, but I know the new thing with music now is you just
everybody want to be Wayne or Gucci.
And right now I'm not honest. First of all, I drink too much. For my memory is not like I really trying to get my memory back to where it was. But I jot in my phone. But I know a lot of people just go to the booth and then they like will rap or whatever, say something and then stop it and then punch in or whatever. I've tried that. I still like, again, this is going back to the nostalgia. Even though I don't write in the actual pad, which I've tried, that shit don't even feel real now. But I'll still jot in my phone or whatever. But yeah, like that's just my way. But again, with me, bro, I'm not trying to keep up with anybody. Look, the people who can like, I just do this off the top of the head. Like I think back in the day, I feel like I was a decent freestyler. I suck at freestyling now. I don't even think in those terms anymore. Yeah. When I was in high school, I was like, why could shit come to me so easy back then? Now, man, bruh, if you heard me freestyle before you heard any of my music, you'd be like, this nigga is trash. Like, I'm not a good freestyler anymore. But I just do my own shit, bro. I'll write some shit. If I get inspired, I might write 1 or 2 lines. And I might not have a beat for it. I'll when I listen to beats or I'm making the beats, I'll be like, okay, this can go with this or whatever. But I don't want to stay in no type of structure. Structure sometimes kills the art, right? You don't want to be a robot to shit. You don't want to be like, I got to do this, that. Nah, I'm open to like, yeah, one day I might walk in here and be like, my first 8 lines are freestyle, but I don't want to be bound to anything. That's just artist shit.
I don't blame you at all with that. That's how I feel too. That's kind of how I feel. I love talking about entrepreneurship because I'm a businessman, but dog, that's exactly how I feel with business. Like waking up every day and doing the same shit over and over, like kind of being a factory worker, and like you feel like a robot. I've done warehouse work before. I feel like a robot. I'm waking up every day. I pull out my blade. I'm slicing open the box. I'm putting the part here. I've never been able to do that longer than like 2-3 days.
They said cubicles and stuff like that are like a creative's graveyard, bro.
Correct.
Like it's a graveyard for it. If that's why I encourage anybody who look. There are some people who love that type of shit, and it's not even a diss to that. Like it's everybody. Like there's a position for everybody, and like we all got room to be whatever. But if creativity and you want to go off that, or like your gift of speech and shit like that, if that's your thing, just do that shit, bro. Even if right now you can't like pay your bills off of it, do it. Like still do it until you can do that shit full time or whatever. But if you're creative, that's not a place to be. And I'm a nigga who is in that right now, right? Like I'm not. I can't. If I didn't do music, I would be insane, bro. Like I would literally. I don't know. And the interesting thing is I understand that rap is like a young man's sport, and I don't want to be long-winded with this. Rap is like a young man's sport, but 40 years, like when I'm 40 years old, I often like wonder what I would be like if I didn't do this music shit. And I'm 40. If I can flash forward to 40 years old, I don't know if my life would even be fulfilled if I wasn't around the art of music. Like I don't know if I'm 40 just regular as fuck. Like I'd probably be a depressed ass nigga, like for real. So I have to be around this shit. Like I said, even if I'm not an artist, I gotta be somewhere close by that shit because I wouldn't be able to function. I feel like God put me here to be a creative and to give art. And right now, like from what I'm hearing, I think I'm supposed to use my voice. My lips big as fuck. Why would he give me that shit and I can't use my lips? Like no, pause. But that's kind of how I feel. Now it might be like, yeah, you should just write for people. Like that's what I really had you to do. All right, cool. I'll find that out soon enough. But I gotta be around this music shit. Yeah, I just have to.
Bro, that's that passion with it. And I tell people all the time, like, bruh, matter of fact, I'm gonna alter the question just for you. Would you rather make 6 figures doing a job that you can tolerate, or would you rather make 50,000 doing something you love?
Easily 50,000. And the only reason why I'm saying that is because, and it's about to sound real privileged, right? Like I don't want to sound extra privileged, but like, nigga, I'm not like on the street broke right now. So like I understand that if somebody had nothing and you said that, motherfuckers are just gonna go for like the gusto. Like I'm going for the highest, nigga, 100K. For me, since I actually get to look around and like live in that type of like atmosphere, right now what I'm making, I'd rather just make that shit and like be able to do my music than like, well, yeah, no, that's my first answer. But I guess my second answer would be like, yeah, if I was to make the 100K, I could fund my music shit.
Correct.
Right? But I don't know how good I would be at it because I'm assuming, I don't know. For me right now, I'm staying on, I don't want to get off that shit. I'm staying on, I make the 50K because I can make it work. I can make it work and do my shit. I want to, like I have yet to see myself be 100% artist. And I wish I had the same, like I always wanted to rap. Like y'all niggas been knowing me for a long time. You know that's been a part of me. But like I missed college days. Like even though niggas had exams and all that shit, I was just like, bruh, what if I had this same drive now then? I haven't.
What I just thought of?
What's up?
I remember you when you had the hot socks and the headband.
Yeah. I was rapping then, bruh. Like
I used to call you Jammo,
all that shit, bruh. Niggas clowning, bruh. By the way, bruh, I just want niggas to know, well, shout out to Greenbrier High School, whatever, all that shit. Like, all y'all niggas, like, talking to people now, bruh, I notice people can't take jokes down here. I will say that being around all y'all niggas growing up, I have thick skin. You can't really offend me. I'm gonna go at your ass too. We talked shit about nobody was off limits. There was not one person who was like, hey, we not gonna talk about him. Nigga, everybody got it. And I noticed people that I meet now, I'm like, damn, y'all niggas, like, wherever y'all went to, because I always blame it on high school, like, wherever y'all niggas went to high school, them niggas must didn't train y'all enough, because, like, bro, y'all niggas so sensitive about everything. I'm like, nigga, all right, I'm gonna go at y'all. Bro, we adopted niggas who was
Jim,
like...
You saying that? Like, dog, we got friends that with special needs.
I was just about to say that. We adopted them motherfuckers. First of all, I just want niggas to know this shit. Like, even though it might have looked like we was, like, trolling... Bruh, tell me we didn't take niggas under our wing, and even though they might have been outcast by everybody else, even though we joked on them, they still felt like family to us. Like, the motherfuckers, like, you might have, like, damn, like, oh, that's fucked up that y'all hanging around, blah, blah, blah. We like, bruh, we accepted them more than y'all niggas did. Exactly. You know what I mean? So,
bruh,
like,
to this day, bruh, like, one of our friends that special needs, he still holler at us, bruh. He come around all the time.
I think that shit is dope as hell. And I know from the outside looking in, motherfuckers was like, oh, that's wrong. I'm like, bruh, we doing more for them niggas, even though we joking on them, because this is what I who said D.L. Hughley said this about
his son.
Like,
yeah, he got
that shit too. Needs. But he said this about, like, cause you know, like, you talk about the LGBTQ community, like, sometimes it's sensitive. He said this, and this goes for anybody. He was like, yo, I will support your right to do with everything, but you don't feel special enough where you feel like you can't be joked on. If the whole point is for you to be included, if you supposed to be like us, we all get joked on. You gonna get it too.
Yeah.
I think that's what I'm saying. Like, everybody should be able to, like, everybody should be able to get it. That's why, like, my favorite comedians and shit, I always say this. My favorite comedians don't say sorry. Shout out to Kevin Hart, but I would have never apologized. I don't say sorry. Especially, like,
I'm disappointed in that.
If your intent is not to hurt, you literally, like, bruh, I'm glad I kind of got on this subject because I love talking about this. Low key, bruh, I would love to do stand up, but I don't have the balls to do it. I would love to write for stand up. I don't think I'm funny or anything, but I watch stand up like a motherfucker. My favorite comedians ain't no, like, you not politically correct. You just saying what you want, because that's the one art that you don't have no parameters. You can just say whatever, right? And, like, if you don't have ill intent with it, because intent is everything. If your intent is like, yo, I want to, like, banish this certain community. I want them to feel bad about themselves. I want them niggas to be suicidal and all that shit. That's different. If everybody can get jokes, so, like, if you black and you getting on fucking poor people, you getting on rich people, you getting on gay people, you getting on straight people, you getting on people who got mental disabilities. If everybody can get it, shut up. That's all I'm saying. Like, if everybody can get it, shut up. So, if you want to be accepted by our community, and you want to, everything's supposed to be normal, you know what's normal? Getting joked on.
Correct.
That's how I feel. Like, if that's normal. Like, nigga, I don't fall in those parameters, but I got joked on in high school. So, if you want to be like us, if that's the goal, you got to take it. Like, it's not, if the intent isn't ill, what's the problem?
Hey, though, Jim, I think you can do comedy. Nowadays, comedy is a little different. A lot of people start off as social media. I could definitely see you doing skits.
Man, I definitely want to do skits. See, here's the thing with the skits and stand-up. A lot of these people who be doing these skits, them niggas cannot do stand-up. Mm-hmm. And it shows. I've watched. I'm not going to say any names because I enjoy the skits. And just in case, like, shit gets back to them, I want to still be able to take a picture with them. But look,
for real.
I definitely want to do that skit shit. Honestly, I always said this. Acting low-key is, like, kind of dear to me. And nobody really knows that. I kind of talk about it every now and then. But, like, I want to do skits. I want to do comedic acting and all this shit. I said this year. I said it last year. But this year, I'm just, like, to myself. Because I said last year, I, like, said my goals out loud. This year, I kind of, like, wrote them shits down. And it's like, I'm not letting nobody know about them shits. I'm just going to check them out one by one.
I said that on my first episode of the year.
Yeah, like, I'm checking them bitches out one by one. And niggas like, oh, I didn't know you do this. Yeah, I got a whole list of these shits. But acting, I definitely want to do skits. I definitely want to do shit like that. I know they shooting Bad Boys 3 here, like, starting this month. Nigga, I don't care if I got to be an extra holding up a sign. I'm getting on that movie some type of way, bro. Like, I don't care. Martin and Will Smith, nigga, I'm quitting my job if I got to. I'm going to do that shit. I don't give a fuck, bro. Like, I'm definitely, quote me, bro. I don't care if I got to, I know they won't let me show it on my Snap or whatever. I will send you, like, I told you I was getting on this movie set. I'm doing something. I'm just an extra. I'm a nigga that's in a random store, but I'm in this movie. I promise you. I'm doing that shit with Bad Boys 3 because the Bad Boys franchise is one of my favorite. and from two of my favorite niggas. So I'm definitely gonna do that. But yeah, I wanna do skits and shit. It's just getting the right people around or whatever. So yeah, anything in the arts, bro. I'm a sucker for all that shit, bro. I noticed that about myself as I got older. I was like, bro, you just like all this artsy shit, and it's just something I embrace. Something like, look, I didn't play football. I thought I was aight at football, but one thing that bug has came and went. The one consistent thing, like art, music, I had that before I met y'all niggas. I had like auditioned for Showtime at the Apollo when I was like 10, 11. I've been doing this shit for a long time.
Yeah, you're creative.
This is the one thing that stuff has went away, but this is the one thing that just haven't slipped away.
Bro,
like I'm cool with like,
bro.
Appreciate it. Like I'm cool with that. And I take that shit as a badge of honor, bro. Like I really do. But I at one point was like, bro, man, I love football and all this shit or whatever. But like I don't. That bug has came and went. Like I don't have no regrets. I used to be like, man, what if I would have did this? I'm like, nigga, okay, I would have went to some D2 school and got injured. I would have had CTE. I would have had a leg injury. I would have been that nigga in the gym. Like, well, you know, I was gonna go pro, but I would have been that nigga.
Especially your style in football. You know, you was fast as hell and you was real jukey. So a nigga want to hit you so bad, they gonna target you.
And when they finally got me, I was gonna be fucked up. I wasn't gonna like no. Honestly, I didn't think I had the best vision. All I relied on was speed. I couldn't see shit. I need contacts now. So, I mean, I was just like, you know what? One thing that stuck around is music. So, I'm going to embrace that shit.
Bro,
so
speaking of contacts, dog, bro, that's the reason I'm in town in Atlanta, Georgia right now.
Laser surgery? No.
I'm going to get LASIK.
Nigga. My sister got that shit.
My mom lives in San Antonio, Texas. I'm getting on the plane tomorrow night. I'm getting LASIK.
Bruh. It's gonna be my sister got that shit in 2004. That was when it was first like starting. So it cost a grip. I don't know how much it costs now, but she said that was
$250 an eye.
Oh no, she paid like almost $3,000, bro.
Bro, they doing $250 an eye right now. I'm getting
my
eyes fixed. When you see me again, Domo, I'm gonna have my eyes fixed.
She said that was the single most best decision she made in her adulthood, bro. And that was in 2004.
But you know, a lot of people, bro, a lot of people, there's been reported 12 now, but when I was reading an article, it was 11 people that committed suicide after they got LASIK. It was a meteorologist in Chicago, Illinois, that committed suicide because, you know, it gives you dry eyes right after, but it's only supposed to last right after. But people start getting it all the time, and now it was 12 in 2018.
My sister, after hers, like, they told her, they was like, bro, you gon' like, you kind of go blind for a second and like your eyes start hurting, all this shit. And they were like, yo, this is gonna be the symptoms. It's best your ass go back to the hotel and chill out. It's gonna, like, your eyes gonna gradually get better over time. Like, it's gonna get to 2020. But she felt so good after her, like, her little surgery or whatever. We was in Vancouver, Canada, bro. We went to the mall, bro. She had like a break, like she thought she was cool, and then gradually that shit just started tearing her ass up. And she had a breakdown in the middle of the mall in Vancouver, Canada. And because they told her like, yo, don't go for the whole little like, oh, I'm good. She was like, oh my God, I'm like, blah, blah, blah. And that shit just hit her at once. So yeah, definitely get that rest on that shit. I don't know, like I said, there's different type of LASIK surgeries too or whatever.
Yeah.
But definitely just take care of yourself when you do that shit. But that's something I'm definitely trying to do.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I can't see shit. I see blurred. Like, I see everybody, nobody ugly to me. Because it got a filter on it already. Everybody got like that little, you know, that little soft impression type shit. Like, nobody skin bad, nothing. I'd be like, oh. But, yeah.
Bro, I ain't gonna lie. I can't see shit without my glasses. Like, I broke my glasses. I stepped on them. The arm was broke. They couldn't fix them. And I just had to walk around with one arm on my glasses. Now I got some more. And
Blank man.
Yeah, for real. Blank man, for real,
Blank
bro.
Man.
And I ain't had no super glue or no tape just to tape it right because how the glasses was, dog, it was just fucked up, bro. I can't wait to get my eyes fixed. I ain't gonna lie to you. Next time y'all see me, man, I'm gonna have goddamn, I ain't gonna have no glasses. I'm gonna see straight as hell. Matter of fact, funny story, yesterday I'm at the gym. I'm hooping. I'm balling too. But, bro, people don't even know, like, I literally can't see nothing. Like, every turnover I had, I seen 3 person, and I was trying to pick which person was the right person,
Hell no.
and it wasn't right. Sometimes I went to the right one, and it wasn't right. Sometimes I went to the left one, it wasn't right. Sometimes I went to the middle one, and it wasn't right. I just can't see, dog.
Nigga was out just shooting blind.
Yeah, balling, though, but, because that's what my New Year's resolution was for last year. I feel how you feel about New Year's resolution. My New Year's resolution for last year was I was real fat. I wanted to get in shape, and I got in shape last year. So now I'm just trying to stay right.
Stay right, yeah.
Yeah. Put that drinking down. Stop eating all that fast food. I just went on a fast food binge all December. I'm off that shit this January. I'm about to do a detox. I'm good.
Yeah, I'm on a vegan challenge right now. So yeah, it's my second time doing that shit.
You trying to switch to a vegan diet?
No, I did this. It wasn't 2000. Damn, time so fast. Like 2017 going to 18. It was like October. I did a 21-day vegan challenge. Like literally, like no dairy products, no meat, anything. Like nothing. If it had egg in it, nothing. I wasn't even trying to lose weight. It was just literally a challenge, and nigga lost like 17, 18 pounds. I didn't work out, nothing. I got kind of ripped on that shit without working. That's what they say, like, when people try to get in shape, like, there's a big percentage of that shit starts in the kitchen. And right now, I ate bad as fuck over the Christmas and Thanksgiving break. And right now, I was like, I want to kind of detox. And instead of doing, like, supplements and shit, I was like... Because, by the way, when people tell you to do supplements, there's nothing wrong with it. But everything... Our body can cure itself from everything. Our body can... You don't have to take some magic potion. Your body knows how to detox itself. It starts with how you eat. So I was like, instead of taking some like little potion and be shitting and all that shit, let me go straight to a vegan thing where it's like no dairy, no whatever. So right now, I don't know if I'm doing 21 days, nigga. I might give up the end of this week coming up. But I just wanted to detox myself from the holiday break because I was eating some wild shit, bro. And I was like... You know when you know how you feel weighed down, just like always or whatever when you eating bad with the vegan shit. You know what was wild about it that nobody ever says? I had so much energy, it was hard to sleep when I did the 21 day because I was that energetic. Like I had that much energy from like not eating bad. It would be like 1 a.m. I was like, God damn, I cannot sleep. But it was just cause okay then. But yeah, it was just cause a nigga like I was that healthy, so I'm not doing 21 days. That shit was, look, it wasn't easy. It wasn't too hard after a while, but I'm just like my third, fourth day doing it. I probably do this for like a week and a half, maybe 2. I think I'm gonna start implementing this in my like overall diet though. Like I'm gonna start. It's gonna be vegan week, right? The next week I might go back to like meat or whatever. I don't know if I'm doing 21 days, but I might go on and off just to balance out shit.
See. 21, that's a good number, dog. I read a book called The Clean 20. It's Dr. Ian Smith.
Hey, I know him.
Yeah, Ian Smith. Bruh, he basically says, like, you know, in those 20 days, you can fall off and you can pick yourself back up. I tell people that all the time. I got real fat, bruh. My diet was Hennessy and hot wings. That's what I ate every day. Ain't it, dumbo? I woke up every day, bruh. I go to a bar. I'll have a beer and some hot wings. I'll leave there.
The yeast and all that
shit. Bro. I'll get a bottle of Hennessy and I'll go to a cigar lounge and just smoke cigars all day. I just had a horrible diet, bro. I got fat. I got like 240 pounds and I'm only like 6'1". 240 pounds, bro. All fat, bro.
Okay, so that's why no pictures surfaced because I ain't never see this shit.
Oh, no, I got pictures. I'll show you.
For real? Yeah, I ain't seen this.
Matter of fact, when I edit the video, I'll post the pictures because I ain't never put the pictures up. I'll show you. I was fat as hell. But I just woke up one day, bro. It was like November, December too, bro. And I was like, man, I'm going to start losing weight, bro. I started hitting the gym hard as hell. Matter of fact, I just posted a picture when I first got skinny. I started hitting the gym in like November or December. And I want to say February, I got all the way down to like 195.
Oh, that's real.
But and what's crazy about us doing this podcast now, in the video, I was playing your song.
Word?
Yeah, dog, my favorite song by you is the Can't Do What I Do.
All on me.
That's my shit. That's my shit, dog. And I was playing that song. In the car, dog, and I had to drop down like 45 pounds, bro, in like 3 months. Oh. That shit was crazy, bro.
Just working out or like you ate better?
Oh, I stopped drinking. I'm a cold turkey type nigga. Like, when I used to smoke weed, when I used to goddamn smoke cigarettes, all that shit, I quit all that shit cold turkey, bro. Everything I do in my life, bro, I always do it cold turkey.
That's real, and that's not an easy thing to do, bro. So
yeah, cause I literally like I'm a visionary. I'm not a creative. That's why like I ain't gonna lie, bro. Me coming here and shooting this podcast with you, I'm looking around and shit. You're inspiring me like a motherfucker, and you don't even know it.
You're a creative. You just don't like everybody. I think
tap
everybody
into
has
it the way
that.
you do though.
Okay, yeah, but you got it in you just to like even want to do this. I know that's the entrepreneur side of you, like looking at it as business, but just to be like, yo, like you said, you've watched like the tax tones and all that, and be like, yo, I think I could do that. Yeah. And like you good at what you're doing, like yo, so you got it in you. Don't get that twisted. But yeah.
But bro, me as a visionary, I see things and I just do it. So whenever I got my mindset on something, I hit it hard, bro. And that's like, it's kind of like a pro and a con, because it's like I hit it hard and I make mistakes while I'm doing it because I always go in overdrive. I can't never just take a step back. And that's why me listening to you talk about how like you took a step back when it goes to the music thing, and you're like, well, I'm only gonna do So Dope Sundays when I feel like it.
Yeah, because I ain't want to overwhelm myself, man. Because that's the part of like when people be saying they doing all this, like they don't. Like I said, we just broadcast wins. Niggas don't know the struggle of like, dawg, that's a, like, bro, when you think about content, period, like that's a full-time job. Like to be able to just pump out shit back to back to back to back. Yes. You can't really have a regular job with that, bro. Like it's a lot, bro. And I don't think people see that. Like people might be like, bro, it's only a minute clip of blah 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 or what. It's like, dawg, you know how long it took. Now podcasts are different. It's even longer than that. So for a minute video, it's like, bro, you know how many hours it took to do that 1 minute, and you want me to do that shit every week, and you want me to come up with some shit to rap every week. Like I got a whole child, I got a life, like literally, like it's a lot with that. So it's just that's the only thing, man. People
see, bro, I be wanting to have some shit out like every week, bro, and that's what I've been doing since I started podcasting. I've been making sure every week, boom, 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 I got something out. But right now, where I see at is I'm oversaturating it, like how Future was when he kept putting 4, 5, 6 albums out a year. That's what I'm doing right now. So now I'm like, hey, it's kind of good to take a step back, and I noticed like when you take a step back and you skip 1 week, people they're more in tune. And then it's just certain little things. And that's why I asked you about marketing, because one thing I noticed about marketing, when you keep just putting a link out every 2 hours, people don't want to click that link. They see it too much. So what I do now is I learned this off YouTube too. That's where I get most of my information from.
Nigga, YouTube University. I've learned more off YouTube than going to college, straight up.
Yes, sir.
For what I want to do at least, bro. Like, cool to hear about history and all that shit, but applying it to what I want to do, I've learned more off YouTube than anywhere.
Yes, sir. So, bro, the biggest thing I learned on YouTube is they was like, hey, it's a 1 for 3 theory. So basically, 2 posts you put up, let it be a picture, let it be a post, and then your third one, let it be a link.
Yep.
And I've been doing that, and I've been noticing, like, bro, I'll post a picture. I ain't gonna lie, I don't think I'm real good at pictures. I'm alright, you know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't the ugliest nigga on the face of the earth, but I damn sure ain't the prettiest. But I'll put a picture up, a couple people fuck with me. They'll share it. I get like 20 shares or something, 30 shares. It'll be alright. So when I post that link, a lot of people want to see what I got to say. Yeah. Because they done seen my face so many times on their timeline. Now they want to see what I got to say.
Real shit. That's real.
So that's what I tell a lot of people out there that's rapping, that's podcasting, all that shit. Don't just keep posting the link. Do the 1 for 3. Post 2 pictures or just a regular post, and then post a link.
Yeah. No, I see that.
And don't worry about what you think people want to see. Worry about what you think is good. Good content is always going to surface. Things that you think people are going to see, it's gonna pop off rip, then it's gonna die. But things that's good content is gonna build up.
That's
over
what
time.
Gary Vee said. That nigga was like, man, forget all like
that's
the
my
number
favorite
shit.
Entrepreneurship.
Right.
Entrepreneur of all time.
Yeah, forget all the technical aspects of it. Like the number one goal is good content.
Correct.
It might not come when you want it, or it might not pop off when you want it. But if it's good content, somebody gonna see that shit. So always focus on what you're selling or what you're giving off to the world, making sure that's the dopest it can be. And I think that's the best advice. Like, it's never like, I'm one of those niggas who like, man, if I do this, if I post it this time, maybe this person can see it and this, whatever. Like, nah, that shit, what you're doing has to be the dopest shit ever. And that's the biggest focus of everything. And it's advice that I always have to retell myself. And I'm like, nah, bro, like, fuck all that. Because, like, you can go on YouTube and they'll tell you, like, this is like for posting music videos and shit like that. All right, if I post at 7, hell, the reason why I do So Dope Sundays is like most people don't work on Sundays. And if you posted at like 7, you might be watching football or whatever, but like it's kind of a dead day. You don't got to worry about nobody being at the office where they miss your post. So I said, all right, I used to do this thing called Fresh Jam Fridays, but I was like, niggas been working all week. They ain't really like, this is like during the like, it wasn't even IG days. And I was like, nah, So Dope Sundays, you lazy. You on your phone more because you ain't got no obligations. So, but even that, I try not to like look at that and be like, bruh, your content is the most important shit. Forget all the other stuff. It will come. So that's like I be watching all them Gary V and what's that other nigga, Eric Thomas. I be watching all they.
Oh yeah, you and too.
That's my guy. Like I be watching all those joints just to like uplift myself, bro. If I can't do it myself, I watch them.
Jam, you got the same type passion that I got in me, bro. I love to see people like that because a lot of people, that's their problem. They lack motivation to do anything, bro. And that's why I feel like there's nothing wrong with that. If you're a 9-to-5 worker, do your 9 to 5.
Do your 9 to 5.
But make sure you're the best at your 9 to 5 work.
Real shit. There's a position
but if you
out there
jump
for
out
everybody.
here, if you jump out here and you want to do something great, you want to be an entrepreneur or anything like that, make sure you give it your all, dog.
Yep.
People just don't see that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna always get that shit my all though.
Straightwreck. Yeah. But yeah, nah, that's real shit.
But yeah, bro, we had a good ass podcast.
Appreciate you coming down.
No. I appreciate you. This is something that I wanted. I reached out. I made sure that yeah, dog.
We gotta run this back too. We definitely gotta run this back sometime.
Oh yeah, I'm always.
I think
ready,
I'm coming.
bro.
I'm coming. I might be coming to Augusta MLK weekend. To be real, if y'all ain't doing some shit.
Oh,
so
I'm ready.
even if we don't do the podcast, just get up with y'all niggas.
Oh yeah. We good. We always good.
That's your birthday. Okay, cool.
Yeah. We always good, bro.
Okay.
Always, for sure. This was another episode of Sit Downs with Slim, with my guests.
Jam, JAM. Follow me, Fresh Jam, on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all that good shit. Straightwreck.
And we out.
Yup.